A very good morning to all of you. We are here at the day 9 of 4 weeks technology-based entrepreneurship development program focused on bioentrepreneurship. Today, the module 4 has been started with motivational input of various successful innovators. We have 4 speakers in this session: Mr. P. Shyam Karuppiah, Mr. Gautam Prakash, Dr. Balamurugan, and Mr. Shukla, sir. I think this session will motivate you to do innovation as well as translate your idea into the startup. So let me introduce first our first speaker, Mr. Prakash Karuppiah, sir. He is an accomplished professional with a track record of successful in his progressive career. Currently, he is associated with VVD and Sons Private Limited, located in Tamil Nadu. Previously, he worked as a research scientist at Chaizin Biotech Private Limited in India. A graduate teaching assistant at the University of Texas in USA. He is the senior research fellow at IIT Madras and junior research fellow at Bharathistan University. Throughout his journey, he has joined his skill in research planning and execution, R&D and communications, team leadership, and presenting company portfolio to investor and venture capitalists. Mr. Shyam Karuppiah has expertise in developing innovative strategy and evaluation of the research projects. One notable achievement in his career is the patent he holds for the miniaturization of blood serum triglyceride monitoring system. His invention focus on the design and implementation of soft triglyceride biosensor using advanced silicon-based EIS caps. The system demonstrates improved performance in accurately determining the triglyceride in blood serum, offering enhanced resolution and stability. Mr. Shyam possesses a diverse range of technical skills. His expertise extends to the field of bioengineering and biotechnology. His rich and diverse skill set, coupled with his experience in research development and technical implementation, position as well as he as a valuable asset in the field of biotechnology and bioengineering. His dedication to innovation and his ability to leverage the advanced technology have enabled him to make significant contribution to the scientific community and the industry as a whole. Mr. Prakash has an extensive list of publications that demonstrate his research expertise and contribution along the leading publishers such as IEEE Transactions, Elsevier, Springer Nature, Royal Society of Chemistry, American Society of Chemistry, and many more. Mr. Prakash Shyam research contribution across the various domains, including toxicology, scaffold designing, biosensor technology, and recycling, reflect his dedication to advancing the scientific knowledge and finding practical solutions to the real-world challenge. So I would like to request our speaker kindly motivate our participant. For your information, sir, our participant belongs from the different disciplines. They are from the UG, they are from the PG degree, as well as from the PhD degree. We have several faculty members from the different discipline also in this meeting. So over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gaurav. That was a very wonderful introduction, briefly researched again. So let me just get into our topic. If I can share my screen,
Yes, sir. You can share your screen.
Yes, please. Yes. Good morning, everybody. So Dr. Gaurav had gave a brief introduction about me, and thank you very much. And I'm very happy to be here as a speaker. And as Dr. Gaurav said, I understand the audience profile is diverse. We have got UG students, PG students, faculties, and with some various disciplines. But what makes us common? What is the common point which drives us together here on this very morning is the entrepreneurship. So I want to instill, I want to give a thought process. Why anyone want to become an entrepreneur? That's my first question. So why should anyone be an entrepreneur? As we said, entrepreneurship is not a easy process. It's a hard path to take, and it needs dedication and a hard work, resilience. But why should anyone become an entrepreneur? The first and foremost thing is the financial potential. Entrepreneurs gain the financial independence when it comes to a 9 to 5 work basis. Entrepreneurs do not have a financial dependency so that they expect a salary check or at the 30th of every month. They decide what is the finance they want to bring into the company or bring into their life. So successful CEOs never think about their own finances because they know they are going to get an exponential financial benefits eventually. Initially, the path will be difficult, but eventually the financial benefits will be exponential. So that's a foremost thing. The financial potential which entrepreneurship delivers you is very huge compared to other jobs. And creativity and innovation. Entrepreneurs have the advantage or leverage of implementing their own creativity and innovate newer products. They can travel in any directions. They can travel in directions where someone find it very difficult to take and someone feels very risky, but entrepreneurs can travel in the direction. So that's the second foremost thing which entrepreneurs have. Personal development. Personality wise, personal development wise, both in the social and work life balance, entrepreneurs have a greater advantage. Although in the initial phase, entrepreneurs will be finding it difficult to make the work life balance. Eventually, once your product is delivered and once your product is getting into market, your product takes care of you. During the initial stage, you have to take care of your product. And once you get your product into the market, your product will take care of your entire future life. And next thing is the impact and the legacy which entrepreneurs make. Today, we speak about Sundar Pichai. Sundar Pichai started his career as an employee in a Google, but he rose to the CEO position. Behind the scenes, he had put his complete development in developing new products within Google. And Google turned him as a CEO. And we speak about Mark Zuckerberg, who was a Facebook founder. We speak about successful people, not only now, next down to 50 years from now, we are still going to speak about them. So that's the impact and legacy which entrepreneurs can gain once they become successful. And finally, building a nation. This is a foremost thing because a successful nation is based on 4 things. One is a political power, a military power, cultural power, and its resources. That turns a nation into a superpower status. But what is the fundamental base for all these things? Is the economic development of a nation. Only if you have an economic development, you can attain a military power. and the political stability will be there, and we can invest in the culture development, and we can make use of the resources. So that's the reason which not only personal gain, but also it contributes to the nation overall. So entrepreneurs are the builders of the nation. In today's world, we know the entire world is dependent on the entire geopolitics is dependent on the trade. So entrepreneurs are foremost in the front side where they can boost up their trades. Let me give you an example. Going back to history, India had 20%, 25% share of the world trade before British rule. We traded in every other countries, with every other countries in the Southeast Asia, starting from Southeast Asia to Arab countries and European nations. But once post-colonization, during the colonization period, we lost our trade business with the rest of the world. Eventually, we lost our roots. We forgot our roots, that we are once a trade tycoons. So we now stand at the 21st position in the global trade ranking. So what happens? Let me show you a map. This is from, since I'm from Tamil Nadu, this is from King Chola's geographical influence. We had a Chola territory in Tamil Nadu and across Andhra Telangana, and Chola subordinate territory whole across the Southeast Asia. If you carefully look at the map where the Cholas have conquered, you can see that the trade route is the principal area where they conquer. Even today, the biggest contested, very highly contested region is South China Sea. Why it is so contested? So is because it is a highly, it has a highly potential for the trade route. So every country wants that pie. And earlier, pre-colonization period, we had this geographical influence of establishing trade. But today, we had lost it. That's why we stand at the 21st position. So how we can bridge the gap? When we look at the import-export data, it is clearly visible that our imports are higher than the export, and we are having a trade deficit. Trade deficit is very bad for a country's economy. But if you want to bridge the trade deficit, how we can bridge the trade deficit? We need to develop new products which would be beneficial for the market and potential customers, not only in our country, but across the world, so that we can export the product and make the export higher and reduce the import, so that we will have a trade surplus. So when we pick up a product, once we decide we are going to be an entrepreneur, when we pick up a product, we have to do a careful market analysis, and we have to find our potential customers. When we search for potential customers, we have to look at the global scenario, not only localized scenario, but also look at the global scenario. So what is the product which is required for the peoples in the Africa, which is a developing nation? What is the product required for the peoples in the Western Europe countries? Or what is the product required for the peoples in the Eastern Europe countries? Within the Europe nation itself, the Eastern Europe countries will have a different necessity, whereas the Western Europe countries will have a different necessity. Say, for example, if we develop a technologically cutting-edge technology product, we can deliver it to the Western Europe country. Or if we have an agriculture-based innovative commodity, then we can deliver it to a developing nations like African country or South Asian nations, where fertilizers are required, or new formations such as biofertilizers are required. So when we decide to become an entrepreneur, we have to make sure that our product has a global reach. As I said, entrepreneurship creates job, it balances regional development, it develops the GDP and per capita income.
Sorry to disturb you, sir. Sir, your screen is not moving.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, okay. So you can do it in full mode.
Okay.
Slide is not moving. It is stuck on the first slide.
Oh, it is stuck on the first slide. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's in the...
Now it moves, sir. Yes, sir. Now,
No.
yes, sir. So you can do it in the
whether it's moving now.
Yes, sir.
It's moving now.
Just change the next slide.
I had changed.
No, sir, it is not moved.
Oh,
Wealth creation and sharing. Slide number 8 is there.
Yeah.
Slide number 8.
Okay. What could be a possible reason?
Okay, so you can stop the sharing and share again, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You can share again, sir. And do it in presentation mode, full mode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it visible now?
Yes, sir, it is visible. You can, yes, now it is moving also.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Okay, sir. Now it is moving, sir.
Fine. Okay, sorry. Sorry about that. Again, when we discuss about the entrepreneurship, so what entrepreneurship can bring is it can create jobs, it can balance regional development, it can generate GDP and increase the per capita income. It will improve the standard of living. It can improve the exports of a country, and it develops a community as a whole, and it creates an wealth, and this wealth can be shared among the fellowhoods, regional population, so that it brings the overall development. So by being an entrepreneur, you are not only bringing a success to you yourself or your family, but you are bringing the success to the nation as a whole. So that's the ultimate point of being an entrepreneur. So what we do as a what we do at the BVD & Sons Private Limited, I will tell you our story so that you can grab some idea and we can implement it based upon your creativity and innovation. As I said earlier, we have a huge trade deficit when we between our imports and export. So we decided that we have to reduce the trade deficit. So what we decided is we looked at the import ratio. Since BVD & Sons is private limited is a organization company which is primarily focused on edible oil manufacturing. So we looked into a market and we saw the potential that the edible oil market in India alone, by importing palm oil, we are giving more than 60,000 in the forex. We are importing more, oils, edible oils worth of 60,000 into India from regions like Indonesia, Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Malaysia, and some other countries. Some vegetable oils from Ukraine, Russia, from USA. So all these import contributes to more than 60,000 crore rupees. So what we decided, we thought of cutting short that import value by developing an edible oil from microalgae. So initially we started to do our research, and what we observed is like India's agriculture market has a very big potential, and the world largest exporter of the vegetable oil is US, and US has its own interest in Indian market, and they want to dump their vegetable oils here. So when we cut the import of palm oil on one direction from Southeast Asia, the market was again recaptured by US market. So what it instills us is that the market is there, the edible oil is there, the demand is high, but there is no way that we can match out the demand because our domestic production is very low. So this chart gives you an overview idea of how many billion USDs we spend on edible oil imports. Among the primary oils, we mostly import vegetable oils and palm oil. These two segments take a bigger pie. In recent days, Indian consumers have switched from getting the loose oils to packed edible oils. So that brings us another potential customer base. Already we have a very big consumer base, but this lower income section, which is moving from the loose edible oil consumption to the packed edible oil consumption, increases our consumer base. So the demand rises. Ultimately, if the demand rises, then we have to go for import because our domestic production is very low. So when we look at the production of major oilseed in India, it is very clear that this whole production put together, all the oils put together, we cannot meet out the demands of Indian consumers. So what we thought, we looked at the edible oil import bills, it increased. This happened when we started this project in the 2018 region. So we looked at the 2017 data, and we saw a 25% rise in the edible oil import bills. The demand production, the domestic availability, when we compare the demand production and domestic availability, it is always, we can see that there is a very high difference. Again, one more problem is, one more thing we have identified is, we import some edible oil and we re-export the edible oil to other countries like South Africa and other nations after refining the oil. So we import oil from one country and we re-export the oil, which also brings a bigger market, which adds up to another segment of market. Already the demand in the domestic market is very high. In addition, we also have a market in some other countries where we export our oil after refining process. That also adds the demand, and the consumer market is also growing. So what we see is like we have a very big market, but the domestic availability is very, very low. And we collected the port-wise data of edible oil import to have an overview idea about which region of the India is importing more oil. And we found, we mapped the port-wise data, and we found, we created a chart and found out which are the states which are utilizing more edible oils. And from where the edible oils is going out. And we did a long-term projections of consumption of edible oil, and we see 33.69% hike because the current consumption rate grows at 25% annually. So every annum, but we had a growth rate, we had a different growth rate. We did our analysis on different growth rate, and we saw a potential. Therefore, there would be a market between 26 to 33%. Increase will be observable. So then we thought, okay, trade deficit is bad, very bad for a country. So when a country persistently experiences a trade deficit, it will ultimately affect the economic growth and stability of the country. So obviously the government will implement a policy to reduce the trade deficit. So how the government can reduce the trade deficit? By reducing the import and boosting the export. So if we have to reduce the import, then obviously we have to put the import tax. So import tax will be levied. So input tax will be levied. So this, once the input tax is put on, this will reduce the import. So less utility, less import. That's the idea of the government. When we see edible oil consumption, we know there is a very big market, especially for sunflower oil, palm oil, and refined palm oil oils. We have a very big market. And there is no way we are going to meet out this trade deficit, or we can reduce the import, because a big portion of the import edible oil is taken by palm oil majorly. So we thought, okay, what is the government is going to do now? So government thought about switching from palm oil to rice bran oil. So government instructed all the KFC outlets or the major hotel outlets to switch from palm oil to rice bran oil, so that the domestic rice bran oil can be boosted and the import of palm oil can be reduced. That's the idea of the government. And immediately the government implemented plan to reduce the palm oil import by increasing the tax or import tax on palm oil. So now the palm oil price is going up, so that the government idea is to reduce the palm oil. But is it the ultimate solution? No. We have to improve the domestic production. Now the problem, we identify a problem. How to import the domestic production. So ultimately, palm oil is bad. The government idea, pitching idea is palm oil is bad and the rice bran oil is better. So assuring the health benefit, thinking about the health benefit, switch from palm oil to rice bran oil. That's our government objective. But when we increase the production, when we reduce the availability, reduce the import, what happens to the supply availability of the edible oil in the domestic market? We don't have a supply of raw material. We can increase the plantation, but to what extent we can increase the plantation? Maximum 10 to 15%, but the demand is rising by 25%. So we need another oil source. The market is very high. The alternative source should be economically cheap. The raw material should be readily available. It cannot be imported. It should be domestically available, and it should not take more spaces while we are doing just like large scale plantation. It should not take more spaces. So keeping these ideas in mind, we thought a solution. Why don't we produce oil from microalgae as a cost-effective and sustainable oil supply, for production of edible oil? So we looked into area how microalgae can be advantageous. So we did an analysis. So we saw how it can be advantageous in using an edible oil market. And we saw originous microalgae has a huge potential. It can retain oil greater than from 35 to 65%. So even if you're 35 to 65% oil is available, can the microalgae, can the algae oil can be used for cooking, whether it's feasible. Okay, now we got attention of the fatty acid composition of the edible oil and the algal oil. So algal oil is high content, it has a very high content of MUFA, monounsaturated fatty acid. So this monounsaturated fatty acid is a good fatty acid considering the health benefits to a certain extent, but also microalgae has other long unsaturated fatty acids, polyunsaturated fatty acids. But vegetable oils or edible oils predominantly have short chain fatty acids, medium chain fatty acids, and monounsaturated fatty acids. So now our idea is to find a microalgae species that can produce oil minimum of 35% or higher on a dry weight basis, and the oil produced from algae should be very similar in structure and composition, fatty acid composition, to the oil derived from plants and vegetables such as palm oil or rapeseed oil or soy oil or groundnut oil. And the oil accumulation in algae typically should occur in the period of environmental stress or nutrient deficient condition, so we don't spend much amount on the nutrition, giving the nutrition to the microalgae during cultivation period. So we thought of various approach. We did nitrogen starvation experimentation. We looked into nitrogen starvation aspect, how to improve the oil production in the microalgae. And what we finally identified is, yes, the algae oil can be used for cooking purposes. Compared to olive oil, algae oil contains a very high percentage of MUFA and lower percentage of saturated fatty acids, which is very good for health. And even the algae oil, when we compare algae oil to coconut oil and olive oil, it has very high amount of monounsaturated fatty acid, and the saturated fatty acid is very less. Again, the smoke point is very higher, which is about 485 degrees, which is higher than coconut oil and olive oil. So it can withstand a very high frying, deep frying also. And it can be used for everything, starting from dressing to baking and saluting your food. Now we haven't identified a solution it has a very high versatility. But whether it can be beneficial to health, unlike palm oil, which is deleterious to health, whether this microalgae can be beneficial to health. We look into the health aspects. Yes, the dietary fatty acids, monounsaturated fatty acids, is benefit to health. It can reduce the risk of atherosclerosis and cardiovascular diseases. And also, it has an impact in various diseases in reducing metabolic syndromes such as type 2 diabetes mellitus, and even in reducing the risk of cancer also. So we identified a better alternative, and we looked into a market whether any other competent competent company is working on the same idea. To our surprise, we found Solazyme, a microalgae specialist based at California, is working on the same idea, developing edible oil from microalgae. And they are working on the very same idea since 2009. So we are latecomer. Basically, we are discussing about in our company, we are discussing about this project in 2018, but Solazyme is working since 2009, and they are trying to develop the algae-based oil. And what is much more surprise is Unilever, a former giant, said that they are also interested in developing edible fuels, which is nothing but microalgae-based oil, which can be converted into fuels. And 1 year later, in 2010, Unilever partnered with Solazyme for the supply of oils for their cosmetic use. So our assumption is why the algae oil has not hit the market so far. We assume that the Solazyme is making a very big production of oil, but all those oils are diverted to cosmetic productions, such as manufacturing of soaps and cosmetic items, creams, etc. Because all those requires oil base. That's the reason the edible oil has not been launched by Solazyme so far. But whether they have completed it or not completed, whether it is fully edible or not, like they are in the process of developing oil, which is a still $1 million question for us. So what we thought is, okay, let Solazyme do what they are doing. We focus on our market. They are based at California. They will have their own market. We will have our own market. We will have an advantage of a South Asian market trade and Gulf countries. All those trade consumer bases will be very closer to us in the sense all geopolitically and economically, accessibility, everything. We have a good relations and good trade relations from the history itself, from the ancient Silk Route itself. So we focus on this market and the developing African market. Even Solazyme can develop algae-based, produce an algae-based oil. Their production cost will be much higher than our production cost because the manpower cost in US will be much higher than the manpower cost in India. So we have advantages over the manpower and production cost here. So we can compete with Solazyme in terms of production cost. So we decided that our microalgae cost should be lesser than the production of palm oil. And we have to replace the palm oil from Indian market and other regional markets in the Southeast Asia. So what shapes ultimately what shapes the project is innovation, technology, global economy, global trade and investment, natural resource and sustainability, and human resource, the advanced technologies, regulations and governance. How the government policies will influence your product market. That's the ultimate design factors of this project. For our project, which is an example here, and this can be applied to any of your projects too. So we thought, okay, when we focus on strategic product development, we have to forecast on future market, customer need, and government policies also. I have emphasis on government policies because we might develop a wonderful product, but government might ban due to various reasons. One prominent reason could be your raw material could be making a huge import value, and government want to reduce the import value so that your raw material, the cost on your raw material can go high, which ultimately affect on your production cost. So your product cost will be high, and you will lose the consumers or customers. Just like see, India banned diesel cars. Okay, BS5 regulations. if we develop a very superb diesel car, a very perfect engine, a diesel car which can run per liter, it can run about 60 kilometers per miles per hour. Doesn't matter. Which can give a mileage of 60 kilometers. Doesn't matter. Diesel cars are banned. Diesel engine is banned. So any research and development which you put on diesel engine is going to go in vain eventually. So you have to take care of the government policies also. There are various other examples. So when we think of entrepreneurship, we have 4 different charts. One is old product, old customer. That is traditional trade. We have a old product, we produce it, sell it to old customers. And we have a new product, old customers. We develop an innovative product like technology-based products, mobile phones, new mobile phones, new additions, new features in the mobile phones, all new cutting-edge technologies, old customers. And new product, old product, new customers. The old products can be redefined to our new customers like younger generations. It can be reinvented and facelifted. And we have a new product and new customers, which is completely new. Say, for example, our edible oil is completely new product. But the customers, we have an oil customer, traditional vegetable oil customer. But switching them from vegetable oil to edible oil is going to be a challenge. So these are the aspects which we have to consider while we design how to launch a product or how to proceed further. And while doing a product development, we have to think of a roadmap. Like first, we have to develop a business model. A brief business model is the very fundamental requirement. And we have to do a user research. We have to put some insights. And we have to concept the ideation, put a value proposition. We have to do take the concept and make it into a creative and marketing stage strategy. And once we develop a product, the product is ultimately going to be your child. So before incubation itself, you have to take care of all the conception, ideation, valuation processes. Once all is done, you are going to develop a product. Once the product is developed, there might be many failures, but every failure should be a lesson to make the product, refine the product and make it into success. So while the conception stage itself, this product has so much potential customers and the revenue which the product can develop is going to be so high. And while you are doing valuation, you are going to have an exact figure whether time and resource invested in the project is going to be worth or not. So if it is clear, on the development stage, any challenges you face, you make them, you learn from the mistake, make it into product. And once it hits the market, it is going to be your baby. So you have to take, once after incubation period, you have to take care of your product for initial phase. Once you take care of the product in the initial phase, once it hits the market and once it becomes a success, the product will take care of you. You can sit and relax for the rest of your life. So in our case, we start with the bench work. We do ideal cultivation at the bench scale. And our idea is ultimately to bioreactors so that it doesn't take up much space. So we minimize the space requirement. We do media formulation, reduce the cost involved, and finally we explore various options like open pond culture, batch culture, bioreactor culture, and launch the product into the market. So ultimately, the cost effectiveness. We are also working on other areas as well. We are also working on, this is the fundamental framework we have. At the same, I'm sorry.
No, sir. That is happened due to accidentally. So now you can continue.
Now we have a fundamental framework set up, and the same framework, the same infrastructure can be extended to other product as well. Because when we work on the area, we clearly thought that the infrastructure has to be eventually, once the product is launched in the market, our marketing team will take care. But this infrastructure should be extended to other areas as well. So by working in this area, we have various other potential areas generating pigments. This polyunsaturated fatty acid original microbes will cover under our algal oil production. We can also manufacture genetically engineered microorganisms to deliver pigments, to have antimicrobial peptides or proteins, monoclonal antibodies, and biorefining process also can be done using the same bioreactor infrastructure. So we have one infrastructure which can be diverted to n number of applications. So eventually, once we complete a project, we can expand the horizons and we can look into newer potential customers and newer market and expand our business altogether completely. And that is edible oil is one different market. Biorefining is $16.8 trillion market. So 8 trillion rupee market. It is like around $220 billion market. So which is another big market. We are doing data analysis. When we frame the research work, we do data analysis, optimization, management of uncertainties, and design of experiments. These are all ultimate goal. We take care of all these things all under control. So this is biopolymer production. I think we are running by time now. I will just glimpse to it. This is also an area we are working on, so that we can expand the bioreactor to the biopolymer production also, and biorefining also. So biorefining, biopolymer production, edible oil production, all using the same infrastructure. That's a key catch here. So the infrastructure is going to be same, but the application is going to be different, and the industries are going to be different. So let me just go skim through these technical details rather than you go into questions. So when we become an entrepreneur, we have to do an ideation, and why we create idea, we have to look into that idea can be utilized in various domains, so that the platform is going to be same and it can be expanded to various domains. The team, like this is a team which we are working on. I can take up questions now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the informative talk. So, dear participant, if you have any query, sir has shared the success journey. He has sufficiently, his talk is sufficiently motivate you to start in and develop as a bio entrepreneur. So now the session is open for the question answer. You can unmute yourself. If you have any query, you can ask to our speaker. Anyone? Okay, so there is no query, sir.
So
yes, sir. So now I would like to, on behalf of the Galgotia University and organizing committee, I am presenting a small token of e-memento to our keynote speaker, Mr. Prakash Shyam Karuppiah, sir. So we are very grateful to have you as a keynote speaker, sir, and I am very thankful that you have accepted our invitation and deliver such an motivational talk. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your vision. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. I understand this is an early morning presentation. So thank you very much, Dr. Gautam, and thank you, Gautam Universities, for hosting me.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, have a great time. Have a wonderful session.
So we are moving ahead, and we have another speaker who has joined the session, Mr. Gautam Prakash, sir. Good morning, sir.
So very good morning, sir.
So Mr. Gautam Prakash, sir, is the founder and director of V7 Lancer Technopark Private Limited. He is experienced speaker with a demonstrated history of working in the computer and network security industry. He is skilled in networking, network administration, web application, network security, and wireless networking. Sir has a strong educational profile with the Master of Engineering from the Madurai. He is currently working as professor and being keynote speaker on various conferences and seminars across the state. So we are very grateful to have you, sir. as a motivational speaker for this session. And so over to you, sir.
Right, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. So can I have the permission to share my screen?
Yes, sir. You can share and you can switch on the video also, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Your
I
PPT is
hope
visible.
my
Yes.
screen's visible here, right?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Right, sir. Fine. Yeah, just a minute. I'll turn off my clock. Yeah. So very good morning. Yeah, very good morning to one and all present here. So with a great pleasure and excitement, I'm here today to say, to share few things which was my eye opener to become an entrepreneur and why we are successful business people today in the world. So before that, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude and recognize the efforts of the management and the organizing team of this great event from Galgotias University. So yeah, it is always incredible to serve for the students community, and you people are always master in it. So keep up the good work, team. So looking forward for such great events in the future. Yeah, here we go. To start with, let me ask you a question. I just want to go, start this session with an interesting question. And yeah, I think your chat box is open. Just give me the answers through your chat box. You can give me your answers through the chat box. So the question is, what do you think is the most important parameter to start an entrepreneurship journey? What is the most important thing you require to start an entrepreneurship journey, whether it is money, it is a team, or workspace, whatever. So according to you, what is the most important thing to start an entrepreneurship journey? I think your chat box is open. Yeah, the messages are flooded already. So yeah, team is very important. Yeah, Arti Kabra has given the answer as team. Priyadarshini has given the answer as passion towards work. Innovative mindset. Yeah, great. Mittal has given an answer, innovative mindset. Where is there any other thing which is the most important, valuable parameter to start your journey? It is not where you're going to complete the journey. It is just to start. Yeah, empathy. Empathy is more important as an entrepreneur. Yeah, others, please, can you please give me your answers? What is the most important parameter to start an entrepreneurship journey? We have some good answers like, yeah, team, passion, innovative mindset, empathy, and yeah, great. Fine. So all your answers are right. Yes, all your answers are right. We need certain things to start our entrepreneurship journey. We need certain parameters to start our entrepreneurship journey. Say, let me reveal you the most important parameter. It's, yeah, the most important parameter. It's all about ideas. An entrepreneurship journey usually starts with an idea, and you should have that passion to convert that idea into a working model. So every entrepreneurship journey in the world, every successful entrepreneurs in the world, their innovation has started just with a spark of idea. And not just an idea, they have a passion, they have a determination, they have that commitment, they have that involvement, and most importantly, they have the dedication to convert that passion, that idea into a working model. So for example, say not all the ideas are transformed today. Not every single ideas are transformed today. People with passion, people with thirst, people with dedication, and most importantly, people with involvement, those people, they strive hard. They strive very hard to transform those ideas into working models. And those working models will have a great impact in the society. And these people are the successful business owners in the world today. For example, say, if you have, before that, I just want to give you a simple example of the power of innovations. For today's, there is a very basic, simple idea of what is innovation it is. There is someone called as Mr. G.K. Narayanan. I think he's G.K. Narayanan, an entrepreneur in Madurai in Tamil Nadu. He's into a business which is one of the old traditions. We call it as dhoti manufacturing company. We call it as wasty manufacturing company. But it is one of the huge competitive market, a huge market where you have a lot of competitors to involve inside your business. but a very simple innovation, say a Velcro vesty, a small innovative idea, a small transformation in the product, a small extra bit of effort gave a great result of 25 lakhs customer acquisition from just 5 lakhs. When the business was very down, when the business of Ramraj Vesties, the name of the firm is Ramraj Vesties, when the business was very down, a simple innovation, a simple thought process, a simple extra effort to transform the product into Velcro Vesty has increased the customer acquisition from 25 lakhs to 25 lakhs. See the power of innovation. That is how your ideas, that is how your innovations, that is how your determinations is going to transform into powerful models. So I just want to give you a clear definition about the difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur. Consider if you have 50 lakhs of principal amount to invest, you have 50 lakhs or 1 crore or 1.5 crores or 2 crores according to your financial strength. If you have some principal amount to invest and you can open a big textile showroom, you are able to open a big textile showroom, or you're able to open automobile industry, or you're able to open a big restaurant with hotel. So if you're able to do that, you're not an entrepreneur. You're not an entrepreneur. Mark my words, you're just a trader. You are a trader. You're not an entrepreneur. So business without ideas is not the right entrepreneurship journey. There is a huge difference between what a businessman do and what an entrepreneur do. So businessman will be a market player, but the entrepreneur will be a market leader. Businessman will be calculative in nature, but entrepreneur will be intuitive in nature. The businessman creates a place for himself in the existing market. He does not create new markets. He does not create new ideas. He does not create new innovations, but an entrepreneur creates a new branded market. He's a person, entrepreneur, or the people who creates new market. And business people, they are profit oriented, but the entrepreneur, he's people oriented. Every single idea or every single innovation you make, the entrepreneurs make, will surely have a societal impact, which creates good lives for millions of people in the world. So usually entrepreneurs are people oriented, and businessmen are conventional thinkers. They are traditional thinkers, but entrepreneurs, they are unconventional thinkers. So simply called as innovators, right? So today's tradition is, all the things what we enjoy today, all the objects what we use today, all the traditional objects which we enjoy today is once an innovation. Whatever regular things we use today is once an innovation, and now today it is a tradition. So innovation is the key to success for any entrepreneur. So whatever you innovate today, whatever your ideas are getting transformed today, today's innovation is tomorrow's tradition. A small idea from Thomas Alva Edison, it gave us electricity, what we use today. A small idea from Graham Bell gave us today's smartphones. Every single one of you enjoy smartphones. You spend maximum of your time through smartphone just because of a spark of idea from Graham Bell. A small idea from say Wright brothers. Yeah, Wright brothers, it made us to travel in the air. A small idea from Mark Zuckerberg connected millions of unknown peoples, and we are all friends today. A small idea from Bhavish Agarwal helped us to travel with ease. You people travel with ease with the help of Ola, right? Ola is one of the easiest platforms which helps you to travel from one place to another. And it is a small idea invented by Mr. Bhavish Agarwal. He is the founder of Ola. A small idea from Sri Harsha made us to enjoy some delicious fruit from our home. You're enjoying a lot of delicious fruits without entering into an hotel space. From your home, you're able to enjoy the delicious food because Sri Harsha is the founder of Swiggy. A small idea from Harshil Mathur, he's the founder of Razorpay, helped us to handle millions of transactions for online shoppings. Razorpay is a company which is located in Bangalore with just 55 employees, but they are able to handle 50,000 more business transactions per day. So, and of course, he's the founder of Razorpay. And finally, a small idea from you. As an entrepreneur, a small innovative idea from you will change the entire world. So it is all about ideas. See, ideas might be small. The ideas might be very small, but the effort behind the transformation is enormous. What the effort you put into it, what dedication you put into it, what involvement you show to transform your ideas, that matters. We have huge quantity of people to execute. India is a power of enormous manpower. India has enormous students power. We have a lot of manpower to execute things, but unfortunately, we do not have much people to think. We have very less people to think, but we have huge amount of people to execute. I want you people to be a thinker rather than executor, because we have executors, we are lacking in thinkers. So yeah, even to start with my entrepreneurship journey, I'll just go ahead with my entrepreneurship journey, because for the first few minutes, I've just insisted you what is the importance of entrepreneurship and what really entrepreneur means. So yeah, even when I started my entrepreneurship journey with a small idea of automating the operations within a service-based industry through a technology called as artificial intelligence and machine learning. It is just a small idea of automating the entire office. I just want to, the objective of my business, the objective of my software, the solution is I just want to automate the entire operations of the office and make the office a paperless office. I just want to make every office in the world, every office in the nation, every office in the state, every office in the city to become a paperless office, because papers are one of the most important resources which we use today, and that is not eco-friendly. So in terms of eco-friendliness, I just want to save the nature and reduce the paper. So to reduce the paper, the main objective what I took is I just want to create some automation software which could take care of the entire business operations. And the automation software is Easy CRM, what we have developed. And now we have served more than 1,500 companies to automate their business with our software solutions. So this is what we have achieved as a software company. And my name is Gautam Prakash, Director and Operations Head, V7 Lancers, Technopark Private Limited. Yeah, I'm a software engineer by profession, completed my undergraduation in Kalasalingam University and my post-graduation in cybersecurity in Tyagarajar College of Engineering, Madurai. Yeah, before starting my entrepreneurship journey, I've been employed. Once I have been employed in 2 different organizations like HCL and Honeywell for 2.5 to 3 years. I also contributed to the students community as professor in 2 different engineering colleges. Yeah, I know how hard it is to listen to my lectures. It is very hard to listen to my boring lectures, but still students during my academic career, they were very cooperative listening to my boring lectures. I usually prefer taking classes, in my mother tongue, Tamil, since we have almost all students from my home state. But yeah, one fine day I was really wondering on seeing 2 students looking at me for the entire session in all the classes. They were completely looking at me. Their eyes were not wandering anywhere. Those two students, they are completely looking at me in all the classes, in all the sessions with the sort of curiosity. I'm really felt proud that I really impacted at least 2 students in my life. My lectures, my classes, my sessions has impacted really 2 students in my life. I was very proud about it. But only later I realized those 2 people are from Kerala and they don't know Tamil. Days passed, time passed, life was so monotonous. Literally, I was searching for a meaning for my life because I don't want to run a monotonous life. I want a life to be meaningful. I want a life where I can do some creatives. I want a life where I can innovate something. I want a life where I can help the people. I want life where I can impact the society. I was searching for such a life in my career, but literally I was doing some boring lectures to my students and the students were very cooperative. Yeah, and one fine day with a hard mind, with a bold mind, I have decided not to be employed. I have decided not to be employed, but to employ someone. I just started a web designing company with just 7 team members, including me. And I still remember the date was July 7 when I started my first project. Yeah, we plan to provide 7 different services from our company, and we all 7 members, we committed to work all the 7 days. So we have Monday to Sunday, 7 days. We committed to work all the 7 days in the week. And, yeah, and most importantly, when I started my own business, I had just 7 years of experience. And finally, the principal amount of investment what I had in my hand is just 7,000 rupees. So this is my initial days. This is how the company V7 Lances started. So yeah, and more importantly, we love the nature. We always believe the nature, and the nature gave us a number 7. And that is, in all aspects, that is how the V7 Lancers was born. Even I'm a Dhoni fan too. Now the 7 is not just a number, it's an emotion. So this is how the company V7 Lancers was formed, and the name coined as V7 Lancers. So, it was just 7,000 investment, which we had to start this business. But still, we had a huge belief that we could do miracles in software industry because we had a creative ideas within ourselves. We had a creative mindset. We have like-minded people. We have similar mindset people. And most importantly, we have the dedication towards achieving something in the near future. So we don't bother about what investment we have. We just had a great belief that we have a great idea. In my experience of say 10 years of my industry experience, I could tell you one strong idea is equal to $1 million investment. One strong idea is equal to $1 million investment. With this simple theory, we started the journey in 2018, and now we are a 4 years old baby in the software industry. So every company will start with a vision. Every company will start with a vision and a mission. And we also had a clear vision to be the client's #1 choice for any technical assistance. I just want to be the #1 choice for any technical assistant the company is going to choose. So in and around the state. So personally, I have a strong opinion that a successful entrepreneur should be capable enough to manage and plan his time effectively. All successful people in the world today, all successful entrepreneurs in the world today, they are the people who is able to manage their time and plan their time very effectively. They are multitaskers, they are multi-talented, who can plan and manage their time. Time management is the most important parameter for a successful entrepreneur today. So fortunately, in my earlier days, it gave me a great practice on time management. I just want to time travel 15 years back when I was in my college days. So those days gave me a great practice on time management. Due to some personal reasons, due to some family reasons and financial reasons, I was supposed to manage my tuition fees and other expenses during my post-graduation. Just consider, I'm doing a post-graduation in a college called as Tyagarajar College of Engineering, Madurai. And during that period, I was supposed to handle all my financial expenses. I should be able to manage my tuition fees. I should be able to manage my travel expenses, and I should also be able to manage my other expenses where there was some financial problem and family problem where I was supposed to do it. So what I thought is, for a part income, I thought of starting a YouTube channel. I thought of starting a YouTube channel where I could get some sort of income. But again, I don't want to get trolled by public, because I know how dangerous it is, because I have trolled every single video I used to see in YouTube. So I realized that a part income cannot feed me, and that part income cannot afford my tuition fees. So I think that was not the right idea, and I have decided to take off with different kind of jobs. Whatever jobs I see, whatever jobs I hear, whatever opportunity I get to know, I just started making the best out of it. So I have started making use of every single chance I got during my post-graduation day. I just want to remember those days. 2 years of my post-graduation life was like, it was like a Chandrayaan 2 and Vikram lander. So I still could not find where it went. So it was such an instant and quick phase of my life, since I was completely engaged with my works. If I still look back those 2 years of my life, I could not even think where it went. Because it was very fast, it was very swift and instant. When you are completely engaged with works, when you are completely engaged with back-to-back assignments, you'll surely not have time to enjoy. You'll not have time to give a breath for your life. So yeah, without any conviction or without any second thought, to manage my own expenses, I started taking tuition classes on physics and computer science. to 12th standard students from 5 to 7:30 a.m. early morning. You know how hard it is to wake up by 4:30 a.m. and start the classes by 5 a.m. So I started taking tuition classes on physics and computer only for the 12th standard students from 5 to 7:30 a.m. And I have to rush to my college campus within 8:30 a.m. My college is very strict, and people, they do not allow students coming after 8:30 without seeing the principal. You know, I'm the only person who meets my principal every single day. Not even head of the departments, yes, of course, because my principal will have a serious view on the latecomers. In 365 days, I will have the opportunity to visit my principal for more than 330 days, because I'll be the most of the time I'll be the latecomer. And yeah, because I just want to complete the classes, tuition classes by 7:30, and I just have 1 hour to travel 20 kilometers from my home. So yeah, because of my time commitment, I was not able to reach the college on time for maximum days. So, and then my college ends by 1 a.m. Since it is a post-graduation, the college gets completed by 1 a.m. After lunch, post-lunch. So I'll join with the department security, Mr. Kanakaraj. I still remember his name. He's Mr. Kanakaraj, who gave me his cabin. He shared his cabin with me to have lunch. So I usually share my lunch with him, and I'll start running for the next session. The day continues in one of my next job. After 1 o'clock, the day continues in one of the arts and sciences college, where I worked as a visiting lecturer, handling C programming and I think PHP programming for first year and second year students. And the timing is 2 to 5:30. I've started working as a visiting lecturer in one of the arts and science colleges from 2 to 5:30. And next by 6 p.m., I am supposed to log into a training institute where I worked as a Tanset and gate trainer. And yeah, I handled 2 batches there. I still remember the names of the students. And the time would be 9 p.m. when I finish off the session. So yeah, the time is done. 9 p.m. is over, and I rush back to home since I have committed to few college students of undergraduation to complete their final year projects, and I've paid for those projects. So yeah, after all, my eyes will try to close by 12:30 a.m. midnight. So then comes again 5:30 a.m. again, the same routine life for 2 hard years. Initially, I thought it was those 2 years which I hate, which I never want to meet again. Those 2 years is literally one of the most hardest part of my life. I thought I hate those 2 years, but later I realized those 2 years was the best part of my life, which really showed me who I am and what I can accomplish. On a personal front, I could say proudly that I'm a perfect time manager, and that is because of those 2 years, what I really experienced in my life. And today, I'm handling 3 different business individually, mentoring 25 college students from 4 different institutions, representing myself in different business forum, being a regional trainer for BNI, and the most importantly, a successful family member with a 3-year-old kid. It was my fortune that I got a chance to experience such a life in those 2 years of my post-graduation, which now plays a vital role in my time management. So I realized that I understood that, and I honestly agree that time management is one of the most important parameter for every successful entrepreneur today. One who is able to manage his time, one who is able to plan his time effectively, those people are really successful in this world. So time management is not just a skill, it is an art. Not every people can do it. People with proper dedication, people with a proper plan management, they are the right people who can manage their time effectively. So my dear people here, I just want to give you a free advice. If life gives you a chance, make use of it. End of the day, at any experiment you take or any challenges you undergo, there are just 2 results. You'll have only 2 results in any experiment you take. Or whatever challenges you undergo, you'll have just 2 results. Either you win or you learn. There is nothing called as failure here. You'll either win the challenge or you learn something out of those challenge. There is no best teacher than your failures. Learn from failure. Failures can teach you lessons than any other doctorates in the world, than any other professors in the world, than any other school teachers in the world. The best teacher for you is failure. And those lessons will be the greatest philosophy of your life. So never ever stop trying. Never ever stop. Never ever stop doing some different things, implementing some different things. So, there is a famous quote from one of the famous scientists, Thomas Alva Edison. Once he invented the most commonly used electrical bulbs, he said that still I remember the quote. I don't say that I failed 10,000 times. I have found 10,000 different things that does not work. See the positive attitude. See the positive mindset. And this positive attitude is the difference between a common people and an extraordinary people. This kind of positive attitude is something which makes people extraordinary. Other peoples are ordinary, and this positive mindset makes the people extraordinary. So you always remember this. Grapes, we usually love grapes, right? Apples, grapes. So grapes must be crushed to make wine. And the expensive diamonds are formed under pressure. Seeds, they grow only in the darkness. So whenever you feel that you are pressed under pressure, you are compressed under pressure, you are in a powerful place of transformation. Trust the process. Just trust the process and keep going on. Now, right, the next part of V7 Lancers, our company's journey started in 2019. 2019 is one of the most memorable year of V7 Lancers as we participated in Smart India Hackathon 2019. Hope you have heard about it. Smart India Hackathon. It was in 2019, national level innovative project contest. I think you would have heard about this through your college, and you people might have also attended the contest. It is something like a 36 hours non-stop event, like Big Boss. You cannot run anywhere. Inside a room, you have to do the project, you have to design a prototype, and you have to compete with all the team members. So this is a great event which happened in 121 cities, and I think 1,064 teams were there in the participation, 7,500 plus participants, and I could feel the energy of N minds of the nation, because I could see entire room is of ideas, entire nation is of ideas, entire nation is of new innovations. Right, in this great event, we designed a prototype with a simple idea to transfer messages, transfer files, transfer documents when there is no network, no tower, no Bluetooth or any other medium. Considering a situation where the entire city, the entire state is collapsed, the locality is collapsed due to an earthquake. Consider a situation like that. There is no tower, there is no network, there is no Bluetooth or any transferring medium, because the entire city is collapsed with, say, earthquake or flood or something, natural phenomena. The entire city locality is collapsed, but there is no medium of file transfer. But still, we designed a prototype where you can transfer files, where you can transfer audio, where you can transfer documents, where you can transfer images and videos. We designed a prototype because still people needs to communicate. Even the locality is not able to give you some network. People, they are still in the need of communication. So that's the prototype what we designed, and to a surprise, out of 45 teams in the venue in Coimbatore, we won the best project award. And the project is funded by Niti Aayog, Central Government of India. And the most interesting, the beautiful, and the most emotional part is the fund provided is again 7 lakhs. The number 7 again comes into the play. That is why I said nature is always giving us the number 7. So this is one of the remarkable achievements, and we are still proud of what we have accomplished as a team. Before the event, even I never believed that someone will fund me for my project. I never thought of it. I never believed in my potential. I never believed in my team's potential. I never believed that one of my projects will get a fund. But now I could attract investors from different parts of the world through my software solutions. I have more than 17 investors. I have more than 10 new applications for my product investment. But once upon a time, I never thought someone will invest even 1 rupee for my product. But today it is getting happened. So, but one thing, I never say everything is possible. I'll never say that everything is possible, but there are some possibilities which we never thought it would be. There are some possibilities. The thing is, just give a try. Just give a try. If things don't work out, whatever you try, few things it might not work out. Few things it might not come into your control. If things are not going to work out, cool, relax, no problem. There are 100 other plans to try. Still, we have 100 other plans to try. Life never stops teaching something new, but you have to be ready to learn to be successful. Right? Even in my initial days, I could not give the most expected service for first 4 clients. When I started my web designing projects in 2018, my first 4 projects was a failure. I could not give the right service, or I could not give the expected service to my clients for the first few years. But now my customer retention is 98%. Remaining 2% are those 4 projects which we failed. No worry, no hard feelings, because I've never felt that I have lost that 2%. I really feel that I have invested those 2% to gain 98% of new clients. A kind of hard investment, a kind of hard digestion, but a kind of hard investment someone has to make to come back stronger. You can come back stronger when you make some hard investments like this. No worry about the 2%. Hey, enjoy the 98% of customers who still enjoys your service, who still feels proud about your service, who still wants your service then and there, right? So if I already said, right, I have not failed. I found 1,000 different ways that will not work. The same thing, the same phenomena, or the same slogan is my mantra, where I just found that 4 different projects is not working, 4 different techniques is not working, so that we have to find 4,000 different techniques where we can be successful. So though we fail at times, though we face some failures at some point of time, we always strive hard, we always work hard, we always put some extra bit of tremendous works and break through the challenges with one strong reason. And that is why we are still in this industry, providing the best services to the world, and that's learning. With this one learning process, with this one learning activity, we are still confident that we are still believing in ourselves that even we get failures, even we face failures, even we fell down for hundreds of times, with this one process of learning, we have the confidence that we can come back very stronger. Actually, learning is not a process. Actually, learning is not at all a process. It is just an activity. It is just an activity. Lifelong learning is the process. There is a huge difference between learning and lifelong learning. The process will give you result. The activity will not give you the result. Learning is an activity. Lifelong learning is a process. So activity gives you clarity, but the process gives you confidence and results. So, one major reasons of V7 Lancers for being the most dominating IT service provider in down south is currently adapting to the recent technologies and best practices followed by the pioneers in the industry. We are the first people who adopts to the new technology, whatever it is implemented in the technology market today. If a new technology is implemented in mean stack, V7 Lancers will be the first company to implement it. If there is a new open source software introduced in the market, yes, V7 Lancers is the first company to download the open source software and make use of it. If there is a new best practice which is followed in marketing strategies, yes, V7 Lancers will be the first company who will adopt that particular change in the market and go ahead with whatever results come. All these things will not only give you success. All these things will not only give you the process to enjoy. These things will also give you some failures. But those failures are again a part of investment, which will make me more stronger, think about new innovative ideas, and that could bring me some great results. So there are a lot of benefits of lifelong learning, which I personally think that the learning process, the regular learning process will always build you new skills and improves your current skills, and you will be always open-minded to listen whatever you have to do. There are people, there are successful entrepreneurs, there are successful business people, there are a lot of intellectual peoples, and those peoples, they are not speakers, they are hard listeners. Every single successful people in the world, successful entrepreneurs in the world, rather than a good speaker, they are a good listeners. They are hardcore listeners. The one who listens to someone, the one who keeps on learning, the one who keeps on updating himself, he'll be the most wanted entrepreneur in the world. So the lifelong learning is also going to improve your memory. It's going to improve your self-esteem, and it creates better opportunities for you in the near future, not only for a job, for a new entrepreneurship journey. Lifelong learning process. It's going to be one of the greatest thing which you could adhere as an entrepreneur, where you can enjoy the taste of success. So as Reasonable Lancers is also having some core values to be followed, and as lifelong learning is one of the core values of our organization, and as social activity, we do train. We are in the process of training physically challenged students in backward regions, and we have placed more than 125 plus students in different companies. So they are all backward region students. They are physically challenged, but the students with thirst, the students with a great curiosity to learn, the students with a great necessity to get a job, the students who are financially backward, the students who cannot even pay their rent, the students who cannot even feed their hungry stomach for 3 times in a day. So those students are identified as a part of social activity, as a part of corporate social responsibility. We call it as CSR activity in our terms. So as a part of social activity, we have identified such people in the world, such people in the state, such people in the city, and we have given 3 months of hard training, and the training differs upon the type of audience. Few set of people, they'll be given with vocational training. Few set of people, they will be given with web development training, and few set of people, they will be given with marketing training, and few set of people, they are given with mobile app development training. So the training differs upon the set of people, their observing power, their capability to handle the classes, observe the classes. So based on these things, the students are segregated into groups. And for the past 3 years, we have trained more than 500 plus physically challenged students. And out of those 500, we have successfully placed 125 students in the state with an average salary of 15,000. So such a kind of activities will make us feel more responsible, right? So as entrepreneurs, we are one step ahead of others, where we are responsible for the society, where we should be responsible for the society. And these kind of social responsibility activities will always make feel us proud and responsible and accountable towards what we do as an entrepreneur. And so with this, in this brief session, I have given you 3 important things that helped me to survive and be quite successful in this competitive world. I would never say that I'm fully successful. I'm a great successful person in the world, because still I'm a learning person. Still I'm a person of learning. Still I'm just updating myself every single day. In Tamil, there's a famous proverb. The known is sand, the unknown is ocean. So we are in a competitive ocean where we have to swim deep inside, so that we can create a huge learning process in our mind, so that that lifelong learning is going to give you a great benefit. So I have given you 3 important things that helped me to survive and be successful in this competitive world. One is time management, and where you can effectively manage your time, plan your schedules, be a multitasker, be a multi-talented person, so that planning your time is going to give you great results. You can do multiple business at a single time, and you can produce multiple results. You can diversify your income, you can diversify your thoughts, you can diversify your ideas, your innovations, whatever it is. So this is possible only if you are able to manage your time effectively. So time management is the first and foremost parameter which you would require to be successful in this world. And the second thing is enjoy failures and learn new things. Every single innovation started with a failure. Every single, Mohammed Ghazini, how many of you have heard about the famous empowered leader, Mohammed Ghazini? So Mohammed Ghazini is well known for his 17 invasions towards India, right? He's well known for his 17 invasions towards India. And you know, how many of you know that first 16 invasions is not a success. It is a failure actually. First 16 invasions is not the success what he expected, but he never gave up. He never gave up, and the 17th invasion is the right invasion which he expected, and that gave him a great wealth from India. So you always have an opportunity until you give up. You always have an opportunity. You always have a chance to win until you give up. Until otherwise you give up, you are in the right process. When you are in the right process, you just don't want to worry about the results, because the process will take care of the result. The process will take care of the result, but you have to concentrate on the process. You have to focus on the process, because process is something which you can control. Results is not in your control. Results is something apart from the controllables. The controllables or the process, and just focus on the process. Even this was not my own words. I was inspired from one of the interviews of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, our former captain, and the captain of Chennai Super Kings, and he's a famous idol for maximum people here in the world. So one of his famous quote, his idea to be, or in one interview, he was asked how he is very cool handling the situations, even in the tough situations, he is able to handle the situation in a very calm mindset. So his answer was very simple. I'll just always focus on the process, not on the results, because result is something that puts pressure on your shoulders. Results are something that puts some extra pressure in your mindset. What if I cannot win this game? What if I cannot hit a century? What if I could not take this wicket? What if this happens? What if that happens? When you concentrate on results, when you focus on the results, obviously you will have that extra sort of pressure which will not help you to perform better, which will not help you to do some good things. But when you focus on the controllables, when you focus on the process, because the process is in your control, you will have multiple plans to execute when you want to go in the right process. So when you focus on the process, you will have the controls, and that controllables will give you the right result. And that is how we have one successful captain who has won all the ICC trophies, So you always enjoy failures and learn new things. Life always teaches you something new, but you have to be ready to learn those things and adapt in your life. So, and third thing is lifelong learning. So lifelong, again, I said you the famous, my successful mantra in my life is don't learn, because learning is not a process. Learning is an activity. Learn lifelong. Lifelong learning is the process. So these three things were my mantra to become what I am today, but still a long way to go. We have just started. We have just started the journey and discovered a path to travel the rest of our journey. We have not even crossed 20% of our journey. We have just started. When I see the real entrepreneurs in the world, when I see some Jamawans in the world, I still feel that I am a young baby where I want to learn more, where I want to achieve more, where I'm just a person who has started my entrepreneurship journey. But still, there is a path. We have discovered a path in which we have to travel. We know where we are traveling, and we know what we have to do further to reach the destination. So this journey is going to be quite exciting and thrilling as a roller coaster, but for sure, a journey that will create a meaningful life. So every life should be meaningful, right? Whatever life you live, that life should have a meaning when we are not in this world. So to create a meaningful life, to create an impact in the people's life, to create a meaningful impacts in the society, I have chosen this journey of entrepreneurship. And this entrepreneurship journey is really an eye-opener in my life. And I'm really enjoying every single point, every single challenge in my life, because, I really understood that I have these much skills, I have these much capabilities, I have these much potential only after becoming an entrepreneur. I never thought Gautam is having such a potential. I never thought Gautam is having such a capability to handle problems. I never thought Gautam is having good leadership quality. I never thought Gautam is a team player. And I never thought Gautam will have some innovative ideas. I never thought Gautam is some sort of good speaker. I never thought Gautam will have some good marketing skills. All these things came to existence or all these things are realized only after I started my entrepreneurship journey. So we have 26 participants in this room, including me, and we have some online participants in YouTube. So you know what? Everyone will have the same questions. Everyone will have the same question in your mindset. Everyone will always, you still keep on trying to understand what is your skill. But the real fact is, you can identify your skill, you can identify your, you can identify your right skill set or your right potential when you start trying to do some different things. Without starting doing something, you cannot really identify what it is. Without trying to do something, you cannot really identify what is your capability or what is your potential. So the right time to start something new is now. So let's start. Try not to become a man of success. Try to become a man of value. And you know what? Don't wait for the right moment. Many people will say that I'm waiting for the right moment to do this. I'm waiting for the right time to do this. There is no right time. Don't wait for the right moment. Create the right moment. So wishing you all a great life ahead. Let's embark on a great journey. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity provided to interact with the future innovators and the pillars of the nation. Thank you one and all. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a very informative talk as well as motivational session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the great opportunity. It's been a back-to-back session with Galgotias University, and it is really a nice time with the people here today.
Yes, sir. So, dear participant, if you have any query, you can ask to our speaker. You can unmute yourself and ask.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Your name, please?
Thank you for the amazing session.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I had a question regarding your organization.
Yeah.
Like you are connected with differently abled children. Is it like this?
No. Actually, my firm is a software industry where we create software solutions for IT companies and other industries in the world. But
okay.
When with respect to physically challenged people, it is one of my social activity which I undertook, and we have just started training those students. It is not my part of business. It is just a social activity, a corporate responsibility activity, which my firm is undertaking to train those students.
Okay, got it, sir, got it. Because I wanted to discuss regarding physically challenged people, some things. So
Okay.
I'll connect with you personally. Can I get your email ID or LinkedIn ID?
Yeah, I'll just put my email in the chat box. My LinkedIn name is Gautam Prakash. I think professor is already connected with me in LinkedIn, so that you can find me in the mutual friend list. And I just type my mail ID here. Yeah, I've given my mail ID and my phone number for your further connections.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Sir.
And your good name, please?
My good name is Aarti Kabra, sir.
Yeah, Aarti. Thank you, Aarti. Thank you.
Okay, any other query? So, it seems that there is no query.
Right, sir. So I think it's really a great time with you people. Thanks for the opportunity once again. Thanks for the participants for your cooperative session right now. And
yes, sir. Actually, the party there is approximately 137 participants, sir. But they have not joined due to, I think this is a very long session.
okay.
We have started from 5th of July.
Okay.
And this will be end on 28th of the July.
That's fine, sir. That's great.
Yes, sir. So I have requested the participant to join, but they have not joined it. Some of the participant has joined. Okay. So let me facilitate our speaker. So on behalf of Institute Innovation Council, School of Biomedical Sciences and School of Business, I I would like to offer you the digital memento, sir, in this digital era. So kindly accept this memento.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the wonderful memento. Usually we love digital mementos, and thanks for the great honor.
Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation. Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So the next speaker has joined us. Doctor, good morning, sir. Good morning, Bala, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you, sir?
Fine, sir. Fine, sir. So let me introduce first our speaker, Dr. Balamurugan. Balusamy is the currently working as an associate dean student in Shiv Nadar University, the Institute of Eminence in Delhi NCR. He is also an adjunct professor, Department of Computer Science and Information Engineering, Taylor University, Malaysia. Prior to this assignment, he was the professor at School of Computing Science and Engineering and Director International Relations at Gautam University, Greater Noida. His contribution focus on engineering education, blockchain and data science. His academic degree and 12 years of experience working as a faculty in global university like VIT University, Vellore, has made him more receptive and prominent in his domain. He does have 200 plus high impact factor papers in Springer, Elsevier, and IEEE. He has done more than 80 edited and authors book and collaborated with eminent professors across the world from the top US ranked university. Professor Balamurugan has served up to the position of associate professor in his stint of 12 years of experience with VIT University, Vellore. He has completed his bachelor, master, and PhD degree from the top premier institution of the India. His passion is the teaching and adopts different design thinking principles while delivering his lecture. He has published 80 plus books on various technology and visited 15 plus countries for his technical courses. He has several top-notch conferences in his resume and has published more than 200 of quality journal, conference, and book chapters. He served in the advisory committee for several startups and forum and does consultancy work for the industry on industrial IoT system. He has given over 195 talks in various events and symposium. So I would like to invite our speaker, eminent keynote speaker, Dr. Balamurugan Swami sir, as well as my friend, best friend. So kindly over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for the kind words. And I'm very happy the FDP is going on very well, Gaurav sir. And I can see good number of participants and even participants asking questions even after so many days into the program. I'm very happy about it. Not taking further more time, I will just get into the topic. Thank you, Gaurav sir. I'll start it. So
yes, sir.
Before 5 minutes of me to stop, you can just interrupt. I will start to conclude then. Okay, sir?
Okay, sir.
Okay, perfect. So I'm audible and visible. Everything is
yes,
perfect.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Good. So hello, participants. Very good morning. This is Dr. Bala. I'm working in Shiv Nadar Institute of Eminence. I'm basically a computer science professor. And Dr. Gaurav asked me to talk about how the series under which I'm going to talk today is under title how innovation happens and how people who already have a startup or an idea is going to share it. That's what I'm going to
sorry to disturb you, sir. Actually, in this TDP, you are also a co-principal investigator.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
And sir, you are a big innovator.
Thank you,
That's
sir.
why
Thank you very much, sir.
there is a mandatory session of motivational session for the successful innovator. So
Yes.
it will be not completed without your gracious
Thank
presence.
you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So I can remember once Professor Gaurav, Professor Anamika, we sat, it should be around before 1 year, we just wrote a proposal, and it was actually Dr. Gaurav who was spearheading it, and he came out with the proposal, and we just helped him little bit, not much. And it was Anamika ma'am and Gaurav who was doing the rest of the things. And like, we are very happy that we have got the funds. Usually, like, I think this is first time in Galgutias, am I right, sir? Somebody getting from DST fund for conducting an workshop. Am I right, Gaurav, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, so happy. And see, whenever we have a startup or whenever we want to do a startup, people think about money. Okay, good. But I want to say that when you want to have a startup or when you want to go for an entrepreneurial journey, what you have to have is an idea. So you take any company or whoever exists today, you take any of the unicorns who are existing today. What is the best thing they have is the idea, the one idea what carries up. Okay, so if you take Amazon, they had an idea. They made the idea before 20 years that we have to make sure everything people want should be at the doorstep. So they thought it before 20 years. Imagine there was no e-commerce at all. I can still remember people used to order only books through Flipkart. Flipkart was one of the first online purchase portal that was available with India, and people used to get only books from Flipkart. Then slowly they were adding up some electronics and consumable goods. Now, even if you want a water, you can sit here. If you want to feel like drinking water, I can take my mobile. I can click. I'll get a Bisleri 1 liter bottle immediately in my near my table. Is it the fact? Am I right? How many of you agree with this? Can you raise the hand through your Zoom? So this was the one idea that was there with Amazon, but before 20 years. Now, if somebody if somebody does the idea, it will not work because already many people have started working on it. Okay. So the idea should be first futuristic. Okay. The idea should be futuristic, and that should be little weird, and nobody should have thought about the idea. And how the idea is innovated is by means of understanding the environment. Okay, got it. So if somebody wants to get a land or somebody wants to get an apartment, what they will do, if already area is developed, you go and get an apartment over there, it will be very expensive. But if you know some area is there, it is not developed and it is going to develop, and you go purchase a flat on it in that area, it is going to really be hit after 10, 20 years, you will get double, triple of that investment. The same here for entrepreneurship. Okay, so what I'm going to motivate you today is how to think. That's very, very important. Most of us don't think. Okay, though we think about the problems, either we will think about what might happen, what might go wrong, all that, but not many people think exactly what they want. So those people don't care about that small thought process that comes into the mind. They become entrepreneur. Got it? So the main thing what we have to do is understand the environment. Okay, so if you come out with an idea just by thinking, it will be out of common sense and the idea may be not a hit. It means that many people would have already implemented the idea, or the idea would be already done in US, Europe, something. But in case you are having a complete knowledge about something, you should have a domain knowledge. Imagine you want to do some innovation in healthcare. So you should have all the knowledge of healthcare. You should have all the knowledge of healthcare. You should have all the knowledge of the healthcare ecosystem. What is happening? What are the advancements? You should be with doctors. Unless you be in that domain, you will not be able to think rightly. Many people will just read a small magazine and come out with an idea and they will try to implement. And when they implement, then only they know what are the struggles, what are the bottlenecks, what are the hitbacks, what are the humps, everything will come to them. So first we have to understand, if I want to implement this idea, whether it will be feasible or not, whether people will accept it or not. Okay, so you can see most of the entrepreneurs are into computing. So if anybody who want to do something, who want to do in a bigger scale, in a massive scale, they should use computing. Computing is something that was invented for scaling up, for making your business bigger. For that only it was made. Okay, so what basically, for example, if I'm coming out with an idea, or you come out with an idea, you inform me. Okay, so you're just informing me. So there is a possibility I can take the idea, I can implement before you. What is the proof that you have informed me? It can be a small spark. So only we go for intellectual property. So what do you mean by intellectual property? Is that whatever I want to innovate, I want to register in my name, then it will be called as intellectual property. Okay, got it. So you take US. Before somebody goes for a startup, first they will ask, have you done a patent for what you are going to do? Have you done a copyright for what you are going to do? Have you had a trademark of what the logo you are going to use? Or you have any buzzwords you are going to use as a jargon for the company? Everything they'll ask. In India only, nobody cares about innovation and intellectual property. People separate it. They separate innovation separate, intellectual property separate. But it's not true. You have to make sure this both work hand in together. Then only our idea will be well appreciated. Okay, got it. So nowadays, when you go to a bank for getting a loan for starting up something, the first they will ask, do you have an idea? Don't even disclose the idea. Have you patented it? Have the patent been granted or at least filed or published? That's what they will be asking. Okay, got it. So that kind of sense should be there with people. Got it. So like, what do you mean by an innovation? So innovation is something like we will do to improve a product, okay, or a process or a service. Take a product. This is a product. Cell phone is a product. Okay. So if you do something to improve this is being held by almost every people who are alive in this earth. Almost 60 to 70 people of them have mobile. Maybe more than 50% of the people in the world are having mobile. So any advancement you do to it, it means that it's going to be used by 50 to 60% of the people who are alive. So imagine if your innovation is hit, it's going to be really great. Got it. So you can see people turning into a celebrity in a night or 2 days or 3 days just by innovating or coming out with a new app, mobile app. So they come out with a new mobile app and they are there because you just go to Android, or if you're going to iOS, you can see each of the app is downloaded millions of times. So minimum some average app is downloaded 10 million times. Do you agree with this? Can I have a rise in hands? Minimum average app is uploaded by people 10 million times, normal app. You just imagine about an app like Adobe PDF, Documents, Microsoft. Many things are being done by 100 million people, so many people. Okay. So just imagine an app which is asking you to pay $1 rupees or $0.50 rupees for downloading it from iOS or from Android. It means that 10 million people download an $0.50 app. The company has got $5 million already. Imagine 10 million downloads, $0.50, $5 million, $5 million. That's the range we are working with. Okay, because once you make something and it is a hit, nobody can stop you. You don't know what to do. That time only computing is going to help you. Got it? So how computing is going to help you? Whatever you are doing, even if you're doing agriculture, if you're doing farming, now smart farming, it has become. So if you're doing electricity, it has become smart electricity, smart grid, smart management of electricity. If you're going for automobile, it has become smart automobile, driverless cars, like autonomous cars, it has become smart. Okay, if you're going for any retail market, it's all sensors, like everything is connected, automatic billing, automatic everything coming to a home. Retail is completely occupied. So if you go for energy, again, smart energy, wind energy, all has become smart grid. I told about smart grid. Okay, if you go for education, it's completely automated. People are using AR, people are using VR, people are using multiple domain technology to talk about the way the pedagogy of classes being taken is completely changed. So it is being done very vitally. So all this has been done because of the computing thing. Okay. So before, computer science was a separate field. Now it is not a separate field. Please understand, computer science is developed for helping all other branches to shine. So nobody can own computer science. Computer science and engineering is for all, anybody. Like and the advent of artificial intelligence, blockchain, IoT has completely entered into all the domains. You can't even imagine. Okay, so whatever you are doing and whatever discipline you are from, even if you're from humanities, you are supposed to know the basics of automation, basics of computer science. Okay, So you take someone who lived, who was like a big banker or working in a big government office before 25 years old. Now if he is not into computing, if he doesn't know to use internet, doesn't know to use smart card, doesn't know anything about computing, he will be looked upon like an non-intellectual, or he'll be looked upon almost like an illiterate. Do you agree with this? So everybody, if you do not want to go out of track, if you want to be on track with this world, you have to learn computing. Okay, so which forms the bedrock of innovations. Okay, got it. So that is what I want to say. Got it. So like, not all the entrepreneurs are successful. If you take the successful rate of entrepreneurs in India, it's very, very less. It's like very alarming, and the statistics is like very, very, it gives you like a big cautiousness whether I should take on the step of entrepreneurship. Okay, so but those people who are success are also, they have gone for a huge success. But so that also we have to take it into account. And I was reading an article that day, like what makes an entrepreneur a failure. Okay, so means nobody will become failure just out of something, because they would have done some steps that would have made them made that process into failure. Got it? So you have to see to that. So you should not only have the inspiration to get into startup, but you should also develop the time for creating the knowledge and understandability, and you should also know the feasibility of doing it. So like people always want to become a CEO directly, but you have to say, you have to start, you have to do all the work right from ground breaking, path breaking things, and then go to the top level. Then only it will be working. So like if you can see, like I have told that the patents are of two types almost. One patent is taken for commercial purposes, and it is being taken by startups, companies. Like if you take Apple, a company which is one of the top ranked company in the world, they are always between 1 to 3 rank. Either Google is one, or Apple is one, or Microsoft is one. So they alter the places. So if a new product comes with Apple, suddenly they go into top slot because of the sales of the product or sales of the services. And okay, then what will happen? Microsoft will come out with a newer product. They will go to the top. In between, Google also will do some innovation. They go to the top. So anyways, they're always within 1 to 10 or 1 to 5. I can say that. Okay. So people like Google, people like Qualcomm, people like Apple, every day they take patents. Okay. And every day register the intellectual property. So why they do that? So just imagine if you're working in Apple. So morning, go to office somewhere around 10 o'clock, and you come out of the office somewhere around 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock. They don't have timings, but I'm just, for an example, for analogy, I'm using that. Okay. So what you do, you will keep innovating. You will work with some already existing Apple products, and you will say, okay, so see, I want to do some innovation here. So like everybody picks up the call. So I don't want to pick up, whenever ring comes, I just take the phone and keep like that. I don't automatically, I can say hello. Okay. So if this is the innovation you want to do, so then I have to like immediately, I got an idea today. What I have to do immediately, I have to discuss with my fraternity, the 5 to 6 people, and immediately they will go for a diagram. They will first understand, okay, whether this kind of innovation is there or not. Okay, if this innovation is not there, what they will do immediately, they will go to they will just give a call to the IPR team of their own company, and they will come, they will check immediately. They will file this idea that I need not to on a call. If I just pick up, keep near my ears, by means of face recognition or my ear recognition, whatever it is, it picks up the call, and they will find out. Then only after that, they will be talking about whether this is a good idea, bad idea, all that stuff. Got it? So the first thing what an innovator should do is register their idea. There are a second type of people like us, academics. Okay, so we also do patents, and most of our patents are not commercial. So we do a lot of papers. So we keep a lot of ideas. So same ideas, academic ideas, we will take it into patent. Okay, so we may not be getting into commercialization for all the patent, but for example, I have got 150 plus patents, but I have commercialized only 3 of it, and it was not fully commercialized. There is something called fully commercialized, partially commercialized. I have partially commercialized, and it's not that easy. Okay, so you have to have a huge investment. Okay, so if you want to have an idea anybody can like think, but when you want to make it a feasible idea, it is going to be tough. And when you want to implement the idea, it's going to be even tough. And when you want to take it into retail, it's going to be very hard. You have to put efforts, you have to put your soul, put all your money in that. Okay, so it is also having a lot of challenges, and it is also having a lot of yes or no question to be answered. Got it? So this academic patents are something done by mostly professionals who are working or who are into a knowledge base or knowledge management category. And what they'll be doing is most of them they'll go for non-commercial patents. Okay, so that is one type of patents. Okay, got it. So copyright. What is a copyright? So we have already spoke about copyright. Like copyright is something like if you have an algorithm, and if you can't patent it, because mostly Indian patents are done for something that involves some hardware, okay, or it has a system, or if it has some component that is tangible. For that only I can do a patent. Okay, but on the other hand, copyright, if I have an algorithm, if I'm saying how to make a different type of coffee, if I'm coming out with an idea, yeah, of a different dance form, or I'm going to, all the music labels are copyrighted. Okay, got it. If you say like there is a music album and it is under Sony, it means it is copyrighted to Sony. Sony only have the rights. Nobody can play it without permission. Nobody can play it without the permission in public, or nobody can use it for commercial purposes. It has very well written when you go for YouTube also. Got it? So like that. Okay, the first thing what I'm trying to say and implement is, whenever somebody is thinking about an idea, they have to think little weirdly. They have to think a futuristic idea. And once they get an idea, first thing what they have to do is patent. Okay, many of them like have an idea for, and they will chew the idea for 1 to 2 years. And then when they try to get the idea patented, nobody will want to get it patented, because it's already been done. Because there is a possibility, there is a much possibility that people think alike. Okay, so what I am thinking, there is a possibility you can think. Same in case of idea. That too, the people who are in West, US, UK, they think more advanced to them. Okay, got it. Because their environment is very different. Their environment is implemented, and environment very innovative. You can just see what we talk about in IoT. Innovation has already been completely implemented in UK, US. You can't even imagine. They have completely implemented it. You go to a mall, you go to a transport, everything is completely implemented. Okay, now we are talking about the design of it, but in there they have completely implemented it. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, got it. So how you will think an idea. Okay, got it. So how we will think innovatively. First thing what you have to do, if you want to do an innovation on a particular thing, like just imagine you want to do innovation on inside your classroom. So if you are an edutech company, educational technology company, or a big hit, even in Noida, we have 30 to 40 companies who are successful. So what they do, they go to universities, they go to schools, they go to colleges, and they will automate certain process of the college or university. Take a process of attendance. Okay, so attendance has been taken for the last few decades manually. Got it. So there are some universities like where it is also been automated. Like we have a punch, you go and punch it, immediately your attendance is being marked. Or somebody will stand in front of a face recognition system, and okay, it does it. Okay, got it. So this is certain innovation that is happening, and it has its own cost. Okay, so if you want to buy a camera, if you want to buy a face recognition system, whatever it is already available. You go and stand in front of it and get it done. Attendance is done. That's it. Okay, so now if you want to innovate on that, what is that you will do? So now comes the thinking part. Got it? So like people usually think into small extent. Right? But after that, they have to really read and think. Okay, they have to read, they have to understand, they have to go for novelty, they have to go for trial and error method, they have to go for implementing a prototype of it, they have to go for modeling. All this is what they have to do. Got it? So once they do that, only they will be understanding the environment. For that only we have two concepts. One is reverse engineering, another one is re-engineering. What do you mean by re-engineering? Like somebody has done something. What is that if I do in other way? What will happen? What do you mean by reverse engineering? Somebody has already done it. Just imagine they have made this phone. So I will remove it completely part by part, and how it works, I will be understanding. That is called as reverse engineering. So I will go to the small parts and I will go to the small processes and I will find out how this process is working minutely. Once I know that, I will know, okay, so this is how it works. Now I'm not going to do the same thing, but what I'll be doing is, so this is how it works, where I can improve. How is that I want to improve? That is what I'll be trying to do. Got it? So this is called, these are the two processes which I'll be using in order to make innovation. Okay, got it. And when I want to obtain a patent, okay, so it should be having novelty. So it means that I also should have a novelty in my thinking. Got it? So like, what is that novelty? If somebody has already done some process, if I don't want to do it in a different, if I don't do that in a different way, it is not at all considered to be a novelty. Am I right? So that's so. Okay. So a novelty differs between country. For example, what has been a usual process in India can be a novelty outside the country. What has been a small process in US can be a novelty in India. Okay, got it. So like people are making certain food items in India, which is not commonly available in US. So they can go take this process and make patent over there in their country. So patent and copyrights are locally done. It means like it differs from country to country. What is done in India may not be patented in US. What is done in US may not be patented in India. Okay, got it. So you have to be very careful with how we are going to do. Got it. So like, and I already explained about academic patents and commercial patents. So whenever you want to go for entrepreneurship, first thing what you have to do is patent, and you have to make sure the patent is not infringe. You have to be very aware. You should have a patent attorney who will be saying, okay, when you are commercializing, nobody should copy it. For example, you can see like there will be a product that will be coming to a mall, it will be selling in a proper shop for 6 months. After within 6 months, the same product will come to a platform market and it will be selling almost half the cost or less than it. The quality will be different, but it will be sold by a road vendor with a different name. It means that patent is infringed. Okay, you take any product. First, what will happen? The patented product will come. Many people will buy. Just take an Apple Watch. We are getting Apple Watch for 50,000. And we are also getting it for 2,000 also, but you will get the same symbol, almost the materials of that good quality, every process OS. But why it is 2,000? The other one is 50 patent. The other one is patented. So they charge also for the patented. So the second one is patent infringement. It means that they didn't work for the design. So Apple company, why they are charging so much means they have put a lot of money into R&D also. Or for example, they will come out with a product after 10 years of work. Okay, and for the 10 years, a lot of people would have been hired to do that, for doing the thinking process, doing the design process, doing the implementation process, doing all the trial and error, everything they would have done. So only it cost very much. But when already somebody has done a product, you just need, if you're just copying it and doing, then you need not to get that much of money. Got it? So that's how it works. Got it? So like, and one more thing, like, when you are doing, like, there are some revenue that is also being generated, okay, so of the patent, so that will also add sense to you. Got it? So like the one thing what I'm going to say is like, so when like there are startups in India, like Dr. Gaurav also have taught me about how government works to help startups. They are giving a lot of funds, everything, and you have a lot of committee, a lot of people who are working towards it. Okay, and first thing what they will be asking is what is your idea and how good the idea have you patented, and whether your idea has been endorsed by like some good people who are unicorns or who are angel investor ready to come. Okay, that's what they will be saying. For example, if you want to get a housing loan, you need to get a corporation approval. Same like that, if you want to get a loan for your startup, first thing they'll be asking is whether it has been patented or not. Okay, so then only you will be able to commercially successful it, and ownership will be with you. And if you haven't patented, you just imagine you start a business and it is a hit, you are putting it outside, then what will happen? Somebody will say and say, this is my patent, I have already done, and you are using my idea, give the money, like that. So you have to be making sure before you are getting into commercial prospects of your business, this step has to be done. Okay, got it. So then only government also will recognize it, that it is your idea. You can also hold any ownership also. Okay, so it can be a small idea. If you're going to just see, I have seen in the last 3 years, a lot of small ideas after COVID has come up very well. Okay, if you take a small people who are like a small investor who had a tea shop where they serve 20-30 types of teas. We also had a tea shop, but it was an unorganized thing. Okay, got it. Unorganized thing. Now it is organized. People are selling 20 to 30 tea, and they are selling very proper. They come out with the quality attributes, and they are giving franchise out of it. And even like there are a lot of sector in India that are unorganized. Like you can say, like there is an app coming up where like we can find workers for your home who come to your home for cleaning and other thing. For that also we have an app for like how to support the maid. Okay, we have app for finding out school admissions. We have apps for finding out taxi. That is very much there. For everything we have an app, because all the unorganized sectors are getting organized, but by means of computing technology. Okay, so if you find anything unorganized, your entrepreneurial idea is ready. It means like you will be able to organize it through a computing thing. Okay, so that's how it happens. Okay. Okay. So like usually like any of the university where you are working or a company where you are working, it always like make sure your entrepreneurial activity is well taken, and they will also like come out with a policy. Okay, so IPR policy is there. So if you're working in a company like and you are innovating something, you have to make sure that they are also be part of it. So you should know and the regulatory environment policies that are dependent upon it. Got it. So I have already spoken about copyright. So it doesn't mean that you always have to stick to patent. So if you're from humanities, you are doing any creative work or arts. So I can see, for example, I went that day, I saw a startup for selling plants. They import exotic plant from all over the world and they sell it in India. Imagine somebody has got an idea. So plants, they are importing. If you want a plant from Spain, or if you want to, you are saying, I'm going to make a theme of Spain in India for an apartment. So the plant also should be from Spain. So completely landscape, they will do like with the plants of Spain, they will say, this will be in this kind of weather and climate, and you have to put this amount of water, fertilizer, all that. And they have also sell home plants. So can't even imagine, you haven't seen such leaves. They also have plants from Amazon forest. They also have plants from US, Antarctica, everything. Okay, wherever the loop and collar. So you have to book it, and the plants are also very expensive. It's named exotic. It is, some plants are even lakhs of rupees. A small pot of plant more than a lakh, and they have plants for 500 also, 50,000 also, 20,000. So this is an idea. Got it. So this idea and all you have to copyright. Okay, so if you have a process, all that stuff, and somebody like have come out with art sets. Okay, so you can see a lot of websites are selling arts. So they have a place where all the artists can upload their art to be viewed, and they will put a post like, oh, this is my art and I'm going to sell this for this. So even if you want to buy a very prominent person's art, you can get it. It will not be replica. It will be the primary art that will be sold to you. So we have places like that. So that is again a startup, and it's somebody's idea. Got it? So like some of them is a design. Okay, you can see whenever you go to market, you can see a lot of design, change in design. If you take a mobile phone, if you take a normal water flask, if you take a monitor, if you take a computer, if you take a bag, or if you take a pen, what you use, everything is completely new design. People are working on design. Okay, so design, engineering, all that are also working. So if you take, these are certain things which we are seeing in day-to-day life. But imagine if somebody wants to do some new design for surgery equipment. I have seen last week somewhere I went for surgery equipment exhibition in Pragati Maidan, where I saw, oh my God, you can't even imagine like the amount of design factor they have put into the equipment of designing medical equipment is awesome. Like you can't even imagine. They have put like that for like before, even now they have come out with an equipment by which they will use laser like light to remove blocks in the heart. So once it comes, people will go for as an outpatient, they will sit, they will remove the blocks in their heart, they'll come back, eat pizza, burger, and enjoy again. so that they can get a new block to be removed. Okay, so that much of advancement is going. So it's all about designing, how it works. So design is not only design, it has to be compatible with the functionality of the product. So I can't design a car, no. I can't design a car like shape of X or Y or Z, no, because it will not move. Because the design also has to follow the principles of aerodynamics when I design a car. So it's pure physics. So design doesn't mean somebody art or something. Okay, it also has functionality of the product. It also has to have the domain knowledge and everything. That is what very important. Okay, got it. So you can also become a design enthusiastic, and you can start thinking in manner of designs. Got it. So like many, if you Apple is a hit because not only for the functionality, their functionality is very good. Okay, they don't have bugs, they don't have virus, they don't have errors, they need not to have any antivirus installed. They are fast, they look new even after 5 years, everything. But most Apple product is being brought because of the design. Very seamless design, very simplistic, seamless design. Okay, so design should not be complicated, it should be very simple, and everybody should like it. Even the material what they use, they have invented coming up. Okay, so that gives a kind of thing. Okay, trademark. Okay, so for example, trademark is something like if you are having a product, okay, so you are giving a service and all this stuff. If somebody also can have a product, okay, so we are going to distinguish between ours and them. Got it? So that's how it works. So like I'll be distinguishing it by means of trademarking me in a particular thing and trademarking there in a different way. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, because in a crowded market, for example, if you see, how many of you know the spelling of Adidas? Not many, because we have Adidas with different spelling in different markets. When you go to mall and when you get from a showroom, the Adidas spelling is ADIDAS, and when you go to normal flea market, the spelling is different. Okay, so that is what that distinguishes the trademark. Got it? So, and trade secrets. Okay, so for example, you have something to say. For example, if you are making a new drink, okay, so like that can be consumed by kids, and it is very tasty and it is very healthy. You will say it's tasty, healthy, it is made up of this. But still you can hide certain secret, like how much quantity of this you are putting, and you can register as trade secret. Got it? So like you can see like Pepsi, Coke, or many companies which have the beverages. It's just a formula, but they like the amount of time like they have covered that idea is really good. Okay, so whenever you go for a startup or development, the fourth thing that is needed, it is needed for making your startup good. Plus, these are the 4 requirements that are needed for your patentability requirements. The first one is subject matter. Got it? So like you should be knowing on what I'm going to do. Okay, so first, nobody thinks about the subject matter. If I'm going to do an innovation by which whenever I'm talking, automatically by the sound I'm emitting, I'm going to find out my heart rate. That is possible because when you are in stress, your voice will be different, your modulation will be different. If somebody is not in stress, their voice will be different, modulation will be different. So if I'm coming out with a device by which I'm going to record my sound and then find out how healthy I am. Okay, so this is the, so what domain it will come in? It will be coming in acoustics. Yeah. It will come in healthcare. Yeah. Yes. It will also be coming up with computing. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So you have to fix the domain. What is the subject matter? And it is like, okay. And like, it will also be like saying, okay, so where I have to patent it. Okay, whether it is admissible, whether I can patent my sound. No, I can't do that, but I can patent the process which is going to find out how good it is. Okay, so whether it is a novelty or whether it is a non-novelty, whether it is from subject matter or it is out of subject matter, everything I can find out. So that's okay. Second one is novelty. Okay, so how I will know whether it is novel or not? Got it? So like certain things are registered and it is out as a product. Second, certain things are not registered and it is not out of the product. So I have to check the novelty. How I'll be checking novelty is by doing a check of what is being patented or what is not. Plus, I should be working in the field for more number of hours, more number of years. Then only I will be knowing whether this novelty is there or not. Okay, you can't reinvent 2G. Already we are using 5G. Am I right? So you can't go and say I invented 2G. So that's going to be very absurd. So novelty is something you should know what is there. If I want to do some application or a mobile device that can work on 6G, that is novelty, because 6G is yet to completely come. Got it? So that is novelty. So I have to also be like understanding how I'll be going to do, how I'm going to do this. Okay, then I'm going to go for the inventive step. Okay, got it. So like what is already there and how I'm going to improve it. So that's very, very important. So you have to keep thinking on a product. You have to read about the product, understand the working of it. So that's what important. Okay, just imagine Amazon came out with that delivery thing. Okay, so another app will say like, okay, so they are taking 1 day to deliver. You booked, why 1 day? I will give it in half a day, or I will give it in half an hour. So they'll have more employee, they'll have a service, they will have an idea, they'll have an inventive steps. They will be, and you have to have an idea of using the existing platform. People will think about such a weird idea that they have to invest millions of dollars to earn 1 rupee. It's not like that. So what already exists, there is a platform that already exists. Use the existing ecosystem, then only you'll be able to do it. Okay, and sufficiency of disclosure. Okay, whenever like you are going to start a business or anything, government will ask what you're going to do. You can see many of this app-based money transfer company are in trouble. They are not even giving you KYC and all that because they have infringed certain RBI norms or SERB norms. So whenever you are doing some business, you have to make sure you should also follow the government norms. It is not only sufficient to have a startups, whether it is ethical. Okay, so we may not be knowing what is ethical, what may be not ethical. So there are certain government policies which has to be followed, and we have to get sensitized about it. Okay, got it. So as I told, everything begins with an idea. Okay, got it. So you will have a tea with your friend or Pepsi with your friends, and you will think about an idea. Immediately, the idea will keep going into your mind, and then you will keep working on it, and then it will get going. Okay. So then after that action words, you have to capture all the details of the idea. Okay. So what is your innovative idea is about? So it should solve a problem. You can't say you please use it. People will automatically use a product or services if they really in need of. You can't say, please go and like my video. Please share my video. People, if they really like, automatically get like. Maybe some percentage can be forced, but if it really a hit, it needs to be a hit. So if say idea is also same thing like that. Okay, so for example, if I'm taking idea, okay, got it. So and if it is a good idea, people will automatically come forward to make use of it. Okay, so and it should be solving a problem. I have to be very sure like what problem it solves and how it does solves. Okay, got it. That is also important. So it doesn't mean that I create an app which first fixes a problem, then solves it. It's not going to be like that. Okay, so what are the advantage of that idea? Okay, so then I have to know the technical description, everything, and I should also know the return of investment. Okay, so many companies which are startups, they get so much of funds from investors, but the amount of return of investment they get is very less. You can see so many successful companies shut down. That's very, very hard to see. So much successful companies which are in top, people use it like anything, and they say losses. They show losses and they get out of the track very easily. Got it? So many companies would have top, they are number one type, and then now they are gone. Like, got it? So first you have to understand whether your idea is really nice, correct or not. Okay, got it. So it means like if you say if it is patentable or not, then automatically you will know whether it is a good idea or not. Okay, got it. So many people will have a small idea, they don't even disclose to others. They will say I have a big idea. They will imagine they have a big idea and they don't even discuss. So when you have an idea, at least the outline of the idea has to be discussed with experts or with a patent agent who would have signed a non-disclosure agreement with you. Okay, so he will say, Bala, this idea is good. This idea is not great. You improvise here, improvise there, like that. Okay, that's how it will be like that. Okay, so we have to spend a lot of hours with like subject matter experts. So then only it will be better for you. Got it? So like, and there is something called patentability search. You can go and search about an idea. For example, you are going to come out with a smartwatch. Okay, so if you go and put in US patent search smartwatch, you will be getting a smartwatch which is patented in 1974. Okay, now only last 5 to 6 years or last 10 years we have smartwatches, but it has been patented in 1970. But thing is that when something comes in idea stage, when it comes to the retail stage, it takes a lot of years because they have to minimize the cost. They have to make it understandable. People should learn about smartwatch. They have to develop, they have to be they evolved in such a way to use smartwatch. Even if something is invented, it will not be understood or well received by the people, okay, or the customers. So it will take some time for them to understand and come. There are so many things that will be built by one company. At first, it will be a flop. Another company builds the same thing and make it more user friendly. It will be a hit. Okay, so similar to that one. Got it. So far so good. You people can understand. Can I get a rise of hands? Okay, perfect. Okay, so these are some case studies which I'm going to say. Okay, which is very, very important. But so you can see like we have companies like Qualcomm, Apple, IBM, Samsung, LG, Microsoft, who have done so many patents. Can't even imagine. They have almost 12,000 lakhs of patent, 12,000 to 15,000, and you can see Apple has 75 patents. From 2017, they have filed 2,200 patents. Samsung has filed more than 10,000 patents last 18 months and has total of 1.2 million of them. Imagine, because even a small curve in Apple phone will be patented, or a small placement of camera will be patented. Everything is patented. Got it? So whenever they get into the office and go out of the office, they will also have an invention summary which they will be updating and it will be doing. Okay, got it. So that's okay. So what is Qualcomm? Qualcomm is a company that makes ICs, chips, and all equipments for Apple, Samsung, everybody. If you take Apple, Samsung, they have something in common because they don't manufacture every part of their mobile phone. Okay, they manufacture the important parts like a processor and all this stuff. There are so many other parts which they don't want to concentrate on, so they outsource it. Companies like Qualcomm makes it and they give it to Apple and Samsung. So it doesn't mean that completely Apple and Samsung are a rival company. Most of the products inside both the phones are same, which means manufactured by a single company like Qualcomm. Okay, got it. So like you can know the patent war that happened between Apple and Samsung. They always sue each other. So if for the rival company they'll be seeing. So Apple will be more concentrating on rival companies than their own company products. So when a rival company's product comes, they immediately they'll go for reverse engineering or re-engineering, and they'll be getting it done. Okay, so that's how they work. And whenever we think about idea, it should be crazy. Got it? So you can't even imagine how much of crazy idea that Apple and Samsung or any other people have done. Okay, so you'll be laughing, but that idea will be implemented in the upcoming decades, because it's not that easy to think about a crazy idea. Okay, so just imagine if somebody like before 30-40 years comes to you and say, I will be having a device like this, I can hear somebody's talking to me. I'll have my phone in front of me, somebody's face I can see, like and I can see their face. If you say before 40 years, somebody will laugh at you because it was a weird idea. But this has become a more implemented idea, and I'm talking to you online. So in coming years, we'll have 3D systems. So you will be at home, but you will be present in another place. You'll be at university, you will be having a 3D model of you sitting over there. You can feel the touch, you can feel the smell, everything. Okay, got it. Now, if I say it will be a weird idea, but in 20 years or less than that, it will be implemented. When 7G, 8G comes, the data bandwidth will be so huge that you can transfer anything via mobile network. Okay, that's how they are working. So they are coming out with different theories. They will be changing. It's called as reinventing the wheel. That's what they are doing. Okay, got it. So you can see like how many patents you get it from an iPhone. Like and a single iPhone has 1,000+ patents, patented things inside it. All right. So it also involves design patent for the phone design and user interface. You have patents for 4G, CDMA. You have patents for Wi-Fi patents. For Bluetooth, they have patents. For video encoding, they have patents. For specific built-in apps, they have patent. Audio coding, touch display, processor related. Can't even imagine. One phone has more than 1,000 patents. Okay, got it. So today we thought we were thinking about patent thinking. Gaurav sir, it's okay, sir. How much time I have more, sir?
You can take 5 minutes more, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, we were talking today about patent thinking. So, what do you mean patent thinking? Whatever idea I'm thinking, I have to think in a way it should be patented. So that's the first step of becoming an entrepreneur. Okay, got it. So I should know what already exists. So whenever I have time, I have to go to the patent search and I have to search what is advancement. So if I have a diary, okay, I have to see if it's a smart diary, how I can make a smart diary. When somebody thought, then only iPad came. Am I right? When somebody wants to make a smart diary, iPad came. Okay, got it. So whatever I want to write, read, everything is stored. Okay, so I take something else. So you take a mouse and keep brainstorming with your other friends. Okay, so how I can improve the mouse. So we have magic mouse, we have wireless mouse, we have touchpad, many inventions have come. People have thought about. So now what else we can invent? So for that you have to break the head. Okay, that's how you'll be making it thing. Okay, so that's what. For becoming an entrepreneur, you just need not to hear how to become an entrepreneur, but you have to innovate, you have to invent, you have to think about an idea, about a product, about a process, about prototyping, and you have to keep talking to like-minded people who are already into the domain, and they only are going to help you out. With this, I close this lecture. Thank you, Gaurav sir of Galgute University, for giving me this opportunity to share what I know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for gracing this occasion and delivering such an informative and wonderful talk. So dear participant, now session is open for the question answer. If you have any query, you can ask to our speaker. Anyone, if you have any query related to innovation, patenting innovation. So sir has covered several things, design thinking and innovation design perspective also.
Good afternoon, sir. Is
Yes.
it audible?
You are very much audible, sir. Please go on.
Sir, generally, some of the website which is paid for patent searching. So, can you suggest some other things? Suppose if we are writing something or search for the patent, so how to do that one?
Can you say it again, sir?
Sir, I'm saying some of the website which is paid version of the patent search. So if I have the idea and I need a period art search of that my idea.
Yes,
so how to go in to much more emphasize
yes,
that
yes.
it has been
Got
not
it,
done.
got it. I got your question. See, usually patent attorney, like we have patent agency who help us with taking patent. They have subscription to that kind of databases, sir. But it's kind of very expensive. So rather subscribing to that, you can contact with patent attorney. Like we have a lot of companies, no, in Noida, Greater Noida, Delhi. So, and you give the idea, they will be asking you service charge for searching whether your idea is already patent or not, and they'll give back. Otherwise, the free, there is also free database in which almost everything is covered. For example, US data, if you just put US, you can go to Google patent search. We have a site called Google patent search, and it will be helpful for you, sir. I'll just show it.
That Google patent search,
Yes,
directly
yes.
like Google Scholar, like same.
Exactly, sir. You can just go for Google patent search. Automatically, the Google connects with all the patent office, Australian patent, German patent, in Italian, Korean, whatever, and you can get it done. That's very, very easy. You can just put now and see.
So it is quite effective, sir, that is.
Yes, sir. That is quite effective, sir. You can get, and you can filter. I want only Japanese patent. And even it has a translator, everything, sir. So that is what we usually use, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
Same to you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Once again. So I would like to offer memento of gratitude from the Galgotia University.
Thank you, sir.
So
Thank you.
kindly accept.
Yes, sir. I'm accepting it, sir. I'm receiving
Yes,
it. Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Have a nice day, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye. Now, dear participant, we have our another keynote speaker has joined the session. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. So let me introduce first our speaker, Shukla, sir. Sir is the innovation leader for the customer experience and retail with over 19 years of rich professional experience that include 14 years of experience in Oracle consulting in delivering pre-sale and innovation, and 5 years of experience in industrial process manufacturing. Sir has expertise in customer experience, retail, and supply chain management. He is involved in solution review, bids and proposal, pre-sale engagement, and in conducting trainings. He has helped several customers with their digital transformation journey. He is creating go-to-market strategy for the customer in EMEA, APAC, US, and LAD market. He is building innovation solution as well as the process automation. So we are inviting our keynote speaker to motivate the participant of this 4-week DST sponsored technology-based entrepreneurship development program. So over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here and talking in front of such a great guys, students, professors. It's such an honor. And let me share my screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can share, sir.
Sure. All right. Hope it is, you can see the
Yes, sir.
screen.
It is
Wonderful.
clearly visible, sir.
Thank you so much. See, what I would be doing is, we'll be talking about innovation. We'll be talking about motivation. We'll talk about, I'll give some of my examples, some of my learnings from my experience, and I'll be sharing that with you. But the key point is from whatever it is, there would be challenges that would always come. Don't be pushed around by the fears, right? Which is generally in your mind. Be led by the dreams that is in your heart. And that is the essence of what I would be talking about. There would always be challenges, and you will never be able to change or step out of your comfort zone. If you are not able to do that, you will not be able to, bring that change. You will not be able to bring that innovation. Somebody would have thought something that then only the motivation, through that motivation, the innovation happened, or the new things got created, or new things were discovered. People left their comfort zone and came out of it. At the end of this comfort zone is the change that we are trying to bring, right? With that, in our last century, or maybe beyond that, there are so many transformational things that has happened, and that has revolutionized the way we think, the way we talk, the way we are now interacting, right? When Wright brothers created the first flying model of aeroplane, or when Ford Motors launched its T model of automobile, and it revolutionized the assembly line concept of, and brought that concept into various things, right? When gramophone was invented, when electricity was brought into picture, there are so many things that has changed the way we currently interact or way we behave, right? And these things are continuously evolving, which means that technology is changing at a very fast pace. New channels are emerging, right? There was a time when social media was not there. Now social media is there. Now people are thinking, how can we, gauge the sentiments through social media? There's so much transformational journey that is happening in last couple of years, and this transformation has, taken a leap in last couple of decades, right? When the apple fell for the first time, it was not for the first time that Newton had seen or somebody have seen, but somebody took that inspiration from that, why it is happening, and brought in the concept, or which was already existing, right? That discovered the concept of gravity, right? When Alexander Fleming was doing that experiment, right? And in his Petri dish, where he was culturing bacteria, there was a mold growth that happened, and that killed the bacteria, right? That thought process basically helped development of penicillin, and then rest is a history, right? We have seen how this was during the era when World War was happening, right? And how much benefit that thing has done, and there's so many things that has followed after that. I would like to give you a very recent example. We all might have seen this sound box in every kirana wala, in sabzi wala, or all these small vendors who have this sound box, right? This has revolutionized the way we do the transaction. I'll give you an example. There were a couple of cases where cases of cheating happened, where people created those fake payment receipts, or people who are not educated, they were giving certain changes and they were not able to count the currency. Now the way we do the transaction has changed. We have seen how UPI has impacted our day-to-day business, right? Currently government is giving it free. We are not even charged, right? So nowadays, if we have to do a transaction which is, let's say, 7 rupees, 9 rupees, and we can do that. We can do even 1 rupee transaction there. So that kind of thing has revolutionized the way we do the day-to-day transactions in currency, right? A very recent example, ChatGPT. This is the talk of the town these days. Everybody, every company, every organization, every institution is trying to see how ChatGPT can basically can be used in their part of business, how processes can be automated through machine learning or artificial intelligence, how certain mundane tasks can be done away with, right? It's a very basic kind of thing where you don't need technical expertise or certain regular tasks. Let's say somebody wants to generate a service request, or somebody wants to get the status of certain application, or let's say somebody wants to apply for certain things or want to know certain things. So all these things can be managed through that artificial intelligence. And when you integrate with your system, you can get a lot many things. So imagine your service center guys who are responding to all those, let's say, can you book my appointment? Can you do this? Can you get me that? These kind of things are removed from there and put into more valuable kind of activity, which can bring a lot of value add performance in terms of not many things, right? In terms of value add of experience, in terms of other tasks that can be added as part of the organization. So all these things have been revolutionizing our the way we think, the way we do our day-to-day transactions, and it has become part of our life, right? If we talk about Internet of Things now, people will not be knowing it maybe 2 decades back about this. Now, through this, the manufacturing units are automated. A person sitting in India can run a heavy machinery in US or UK or whatnots, right? So all those things are feasible because of the advancement in technology and the way we are adopting it. But the important thing is somebody might be thinking through all these changes, and we will be covering that as we cover our session, right? We will be covering all those certain nuances of how this can be done. Most of us, right, who are in this forum here, they are some way their inclination is towards innovation or creating process automation or creating certain automated tasks to do certain things. So our bent of mind is towards that. So we will be able to appreciate that better, right? Now, there are so many things that has happened, right? These are certain glimpses of things, right? And most of the things have revolutionized, right? Now, if you try and see how space research has impacted other industries, the packaging industry, food packaging industry, that all evolved from the way we used to send our packaged food to space or our moon travel, the lightweight fibers, which basically can hold tons of material, the heat resistant the clothing. So there are so many things that has been given by all these industry, telephone or mobile industry. Now there was a time when a couple of years back I was reading paper and there was a heading, be big breakfast or have breakfast, right? Which essentially mean was, if you are not on your on your toes, if you are not leaving your comfort zone, someday you will perish. And we have seen all those things, how Kodak faced challenges when there was a time when everybody used to say Kodak movement and they used to click that camera. I remember I had a camera which had a reel in it, and I have to wait for the right moment to click the photograph. And most of the times I was not even able to click it because I was waiting for the right moment, and that moment never happened, right? So, but nowadays with digital thing, you can do all those things, right? So there is a transformation that has happened. Now, most of the photographs that are being clicked is not by Canon or Nikon these days. It is by Samsung or Apple these days, right? So there's the transformation that has happened, how World Wide Web, basically, internet has changed the way we think, how our medicine industry or medical industry, they have transformed over the years. But important thing here is, most of us or a lot of us from here would be running an enterprise, maybe someday, maybe leading a team, right? And for that, it is very important to know what are the things that basically leads to a motivation for self or for the employees who are working for that enterprise, right? It can be a small enterprise, it can be a large enterprise, it can be a team, it can be anything. So there is a theory of motivation that is there, right? One thing I would like to, before I go to the next slide, I would like to mention here, it is not the load that breaks you down. It is how or what is the way you carry it. There is a way when you need to push the load. There might be a time when you need to carry the load. There might be a time when you need to pull the load. So there are various ways in which you carry the load, or sometimes you need to even share the load. So there's a delegation that happens. So there are a lot of nuances when we talk about how we can lead a team or how we can do it, right? So there are various theories that we have. One of the very common theories is Maslow theory, which we have most of us would have studied, right? Motivation is basically a state of mind filled with energy and enthusiasm, which drives a person to work in a certain way to achieve certain goals. And the same is valid for a team also. Motivation is a force that basically pushes people to work at a high level of commitment, focus, and even when things are going against them, right? Now, there are at the lower level of the pyramid, there are certain basically physiological needs, the basic needs for survival, such as your roti kapda or makan kind of thing, right? Which basically everybody's requirement is. And above that is basically our safety needs, which is protection from threat. You need to, deprivation, maybe better health, and all those kind of things. Above that is basically our belongingness, or our social needs, belongingness and love needs, all these kind of things, where association, affiliation, friendship, and so on and so forth, right? Above that are self-esteem needs, which is basically need for respect and recognition. And at the top is basically self-actualization. So once you have achieved all these things, the last is your self-actualization need. Now, let's take a simple example. A very learned actor, right? They will not go for something which is going to meet any of the need that is lower than a challenging task. They would always go for a challenging task, a person who is well established. Right? So these are the kind of actualization needs that are there. All right. And when Abraham Maslow proposed that, he also said that one cannot ascend to the next level until and unless your lower level needs are met, which means that first you have to fulfill your lower needs, and then only you can climb up in the ladder of the pyramid, right? Now there are other motivation theories. Very interesting motivation theory is about Hertzberg two-factor theory, right? Where one factor talks about basically hygiene factor, and the other is about the motivating factor, which means that if you are having a poor hygiene factor, that may basically destroy or decrease your motivation. But improving this hygiene factor will not increase the motivation level. Along with that hygiene factor, you need to have certain motivation factors also. A very interesting theory again is theory X and theory Y, which is basically, McGregor in his book has, in the book, The Human Side of the Enterprise, has written that there are two styles of management: the authoritarian type, which is the theory X, and the participative type, which is theory Y. So as we grow, we lead a team, we lead an enterprise, we lead a group of people, right? We might be using all these theory of leadership at some point of time. There are various kind of leaderships that we have. We have servant leader, we have participative, we have different kind of leadership, or basically leading as an example that we walk the talk kind of thing. So there are certain things that we do, and as we grow, when we talk about an innovator, when we talk about a motivator, when we talk about a leader, when we talk about somebody who is thinking out of the box, creating a solution and then taking it to the market, there is one thing that is common, and that is that the observation. You need to have an observation towards there is a problem that is existing, and then you work on the problem. You find a solution around that. It is not that you first identify the solution and then see which all problems can be solved, right? Even so, if it is there, I was listening to Dr. Bala's session just before this. He was talking very interesting thing about patents, and he was talking about how in a mobile itself there are more than 1,000 patents, right? If there is a curve, there is a patent. If you are putting a camera, so you are doing a market analysis to find all those gaps, and then you create a solution around that, right? So that is very important. Now, the traditional approach that we generally used to follow was, when we used to create a new product or a new solution, was we used to invent certain thing. Let's say we invent a rubber-based tire, and then we used to find that application for that, and then we used to say it is an innovation, right? It used to be in most of the cases, yes, it is an approach, but it is not the right approach. The basic approach is it always starts with a problem. You have to find that problem statement. Are people finding it difficult to make a transaction? Are people paying unnecessarily amount of money to make a transaction? I'm talking about financial terms. Now let's take an automotive kind of thing. Is it too difficult for a person with different kind of abilities to drive a car? Is it something that navigation is a challenge? Now that is basically leading to interesting applications like Google Maps or Baidu's or Apple Maps. There are so many different kind of applications that basically originate when they try and address a problem. One of the problem is a couple of months back, when Google Map was evolving, right? They had, you put your start, you put your end, it used to give a direction. Then they started adding traffic to that this is your best possible route that you can take. Then in the best possible route, I want to find that is there any restaurant that is nearby. They added that. Is there any EV charging point that is there? Is there any hospital nearby? So all those things kept on evolving because there were need for that. And if there is a need, if there is a problem statement, there is an idea, and then you execute it, what is the benefit that you are going to get? And that will lead to a proper innovation. Right? Somebody was talking about, can my car be converted into a, let's say, a hybrid car where while on the run itself, it can charge, or how can I increase my mileage? Now, all these things are the process innovation or the product innovation that we keep on adding there. And we will talk about different kind of innovations that could be possible, and how basically these innovations basically are created. I work for a multinational organization where we generally interact with clients from various regions, right? We interact with clients from Africa, we interact with clients from developed nations, we interact with clients from LAD, Japan, different kind of regions. And each region has its own unique requirement. The uniqueness could be in terms of the behavior that they have, in terms of the technological advancement stage that they are currently in. If you will try and bring too much of automation to a underdeveloped nation, probably they might not be ready for that. Probably they might need certain basic things, and that we will be talking about as we progress to our minimum viable product, right? How that basically works, right? Somebody would have thought of, can we provide a clean drinking water, and concepts of Eureka Forbes, AquaGuard, and all these things, or even a packaged drinking water created. And then that was an idea because there was a problem statement. And through that problem statement, they had an idea, how can that be created, whether you want to do it in a packaged drinking water, you want to have it in your home. Is there something that can be done at a local scale, or maybe at a household level? So there are different kind of product positioning that is being done, and that also we will talk about as we move about product positioning. Yes. Now there are various things. I generally use this matrix very effectively in my day-to-day work. When I try to create a solution, when I try to implement a solution in a country, right? As I told you that I work in various geographies, and each geography is very different. There are developed nations, there are developing nations, there are underdeveloped nations. There are nations which are ready to adopt to latest technology. There are countries which are at the initial stage. They are taking their baby steps towards advancement, right? Now, when we take this globe as a whole, you can divide that into a couple of things, that there might be possibility that there is an existing market. There might be possibility that let me give you an example. Now, when Germany or European countries, they were trying, or US basically for that matter, was trying to build automotive, they have put a lot of research in doing that, building that basically an automobile. There are different kind of mobiles. It was a small mobile, T-Mobile, all these diesel engine came, all those things that came into that. And before that, steam engine was there. So all those things were getting developed or researched upon in those developed nations. Now, when those developed nations had created that product, they launched that first in the existing market, their market. And over a period of years, they launched in other countries, which was developed nations or underdeveloped nations, or the nations where they don't have access to those kind of technology, right? So it might be possible that your existing product you might be able to position that in a new market. It can be an existing market, it can be a new market. Your existing product can be launched in an existing market. You have a product development strategy, and that's how you use it. Similarly, there can be solutions. Might be, let's say you are creating a banking solution, a KYC solution, or might be a solution for public sector where a citizen can use a mobile application to raise the concern, or might be able to let's say I'm from Karnataka, and what has happened recently is there are subsidies that has been provided by the new government, right? Whether it is in subsidy in terms of your electricity. So when you have to, bring that into existence, there are a lot of basically challenges that you face. There can be a data challenge, there can be a technology challenge, there can be so many challenges, right? Now, once you create a model there, you can replicate those models in various states, in various countries, right? All those things can be done. Like when we created our COVID app, right? We said that, okay, now we will make it user-friendly, or maybe we will make it an open source and we will provide to various countries, right? So once you create it, you can give it to various existing markets or to the new market, right? And then you create a market penetration strategy. So all this basically will happen as we progress, right? Whether you are using a product, you are taking it to a new market, you are taking it to an existing market, or you are creating a new product altogether itself and taking it to a new market. Now, when we talk about this kind of thing where your product is new, your market is new, there's a lot of risk that is there, right? Because you have not tested the waters. You have not tested that at what point your product will fail, or the feedback also, right? So, but when you take a product to a new market, an existing product, you have tested that product, you know that these are the sentiments that could be there. So generally, this is a very interesting matrix to basically launch your product to an existing market, whether you are creating a new product. Now, when you add a PCG matrix on top of it, which is a very simple matrix, right? You have star, you have question mark, you have cow and a dog. At any point of time, generally in an organization, you need to have various products and various solutions at each stage. There was a time when I remember Hindustan Unilever was giving a lot of ads on Lux, right? But over a period of time, if we notice that the ad of Lux has been soap, I'm talking about the soap, has reduced drastically, because that has become a cash cow, right? It is an established brand, and they are putting more, in terms of money, in terms of budget to new products, so that they can become a star someday, right? So at any point of time of a product life cycle, you need to have products at various scales. Now, when you put that here in Mensoft matrix, it gives you a complete overview of what is the product that you can launch in a particular country. Right. One simple example of a product is an IC engine, right? When I say IC engine, it is an internal combustion engine. Now, that was a product breakthrough. Imagine a steam engine, which was not an IC engine, going to a petrol engine or a diesel engine, which became an IC engine, where the fuel was burned inside the cylinder, right? Now the efficiency improved. Now that is a kind of product innovation, right? When fibers or the natural fiber were replaced by nylon, which was nylon 66 and nylon 66, this was a new product that got formed. And then it led to various uses of all these IC engine or the nylon or a microprocessor, right? So all those things were revolutionary products. Similarly, when we talk about process, whether it's how do you refine a petroleum, or how you create an electric arc furnace, or how you create a semiconductor. There's a lot of transformation in the processes that has happened. So on one side is your product, on the other side is your process, and on the third side, now that is very critical, is the enabler part of it. Now, in our first slide, we talked about how a communication has transformed the industry, a long distance telephony, right? Now, that is an enabler that has revolutionized the entire thing. Information technology has, as an enabler, has improved the way we are talking, right? It is due to information, and that has revolutionized. I need not come to Greater Noida to give this lecture, right? Now, that is an enabler that has revolutionized, right? As we progress, we will see how these disruptive innovations, or the kind of innovations, are basically we need to target, and why we need to target these kind of things. And we need to be prepared for that. Similarly, internet, right? So we have product, we have process, and we have enablers, right? Now, let us have a look at this, which is basically the kind of innovation that we are planning, right? There can be a disruptive innovation. Now, this disruptive innovation, it changes the dynamics of the existing market. Imagine when the transformation from a connected telephone to a mobile would have happened. It disrupted the entire ecosystem. When steam engine transformation to a diesel engine or to an electric engine happened, there was a transformation that has happened. But bigger transformations happened because of bringing on with, let's say, a World Wide Web, our internet, that revolutionized the entire thing, right? The way we used to process the files, the way we used to take things, right? That changed drastically. So all those things changed. There can be certain architecture change, the way we used to do certain things, right? The way we, even in information and technology landscape where I work, right? We generally, whenever there is a transformation that we do for any customer, whether it is a public sector, whether it is a banking, whether it is automobile, whether it is telecommunications, whether it is consumer packaged goods, whether it is retail, there's so many industries, right? But whenever, common thing is there has to be an architecture that there can be an enterprise architecture where we basically see that, okay, this organization is seeing 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, transformation in, let's say they want to increase the consumer base or they want to increase the revenue. There can be certain vision, basically, right? Through that vision, architecture is defined, right? And there's a significant improvement on the product. So let's say there's a transformation in there was a time when organizations were using mainframe computers, right? Now that has changed. There was a time when people were using languages like C or C++ for coding. Now things have changed. Python has come, or different kind of things, and maybe new things would still be evolving, and those things will come. So but the thing is, in order to achieve the same thing, you have different architecture to achieve that thing, right? And there can be constant innovation, there constant upgradation, there constant improvement that will keep on happening in that architecture. So that you can put in a new market, or you can put it in an existing market. There can be an incremental increase also that we can have. We can have incremental increase in the product. Let us take a example of a automobile industry, right? You have a base model. Then you add a couple of features, you make it slightly attractive, add a couple of features, like you add sunroof to it, you add ADAS to it. There can be certain things that you can keep on adding. There can be incremental features that you can provide. And that's how generally we evolve. And that is why generally we also do, when we go to a customer, we generally provide them with a minimal viable product, that is an MVP, to start their work. So that, and why we say MVP is required is due to a couple of things. And one very important thing is budget constraints. There will always be budget constraints. And when we talk about budget constraints, because there are so many projects that are running, there can be a project for betterment of your employee, there can be a betterment of your sales, there can be something betterment of your marketing, there can be betterment of certain manufacturing processes. So there are, at one point of time in an organization, there can be plenty of projects that you are running. It is just like a country, right? You have multiple projects for multiple departments. So there will always be a crunch of resources. Now, in order to first give them that confidence that the product or the solution that you are providing is going to work for you, we start with MVP, and then we add basically phase 1 to it, phase 2 it, version 1, 1.2, 1.3, and whatnot we can do. And that is what is the value of an incremental impact that we can bring with our products. There could be certain very radical changes that can, disrupt the entire ecosystem, right? Imagine a couple of months down the line, the technology to harness hydrogen and run vehicle on that comes, right, at an affordable price. What impact it would have? It will directly impact the crude oil processing. It will directly impact the way the transportation is being done for the kind of energy that we are going to use. So that is going to bring a radical change. Similarly, there have been tremendous radical changes that we have experienced, right? We talked about medicinal space, we talked about in automobile space, we talked about in space research. There are tremendous radical changes that we have seen in past century and the current century, right? There are so many things that has happened, and that basically, with your technology, with your equipment, with your leadership, with your motivation, is basically going to drive what product you are going to choose, what customer you are going to choose, which place you are going to place your product, what will be your target segmentation, what will be your, where will you be positioning, which age group you will be positioning your product, what will be the price of that product. So all this will come if you try and understand and put your product in using these kind of matrices. Right. Now, this is the market gap analysis that we generally do if we are trying to create a product or a service, right? As we see at every day, as per research in Bangalore, every day 80 new enterprises are being registered, right? Currently, most of them are in technology space currently. Because they are trying to identify, there can be various gaps that are there, right? So whenever we talk about a product, whenever we talk about a service, there could be certain gaps that we are looking at. Some organization can be targeting at the security gaps, some targeting maybe targeting at the gender gaps, some might be targeting at the age group gaps that the product is not able to answer. So there are niche things that generally keep on creating, right? Otherwise, a simple product like chai, which is MBA Chaiwala is selling at a different thing. Chayos is selling. Product is the same, but they are trying to give that experience. So they are doing the market research. They are trying to identify which position, which segmentation they can target. What would be the optimum price for that? So there are a lot of they are doing that kind of that market research, and through that. Dr. Bala talked about patent landscaping and various things, how we can patent it. If you are adding a new feature, new value, you are adding a value add, you can definitely get that patented. What is your competitor's strategy? And that is going to be very common. We have seen wars like this between Pepsi and Cola, right? How they compete, though they are competing in a similar kind of product segment, but still they are different, right? Between Hindustan or a Unilever and Procter and Gamble, right? We have seen these kind of things, how though they are having similar kind of products and services, but still they are very different, right? And that basically helps in positioning. What is going to be the future trend? One very interesting thing is, until unless you are able to sell it, you should not create it, because that is going to cost a lot, right? So first, you need to find a problem statement, see whether there's going to be a demand for that, and then you start working on the product or a solution that you are going to offer, right? And then what are the various insights that you gather? You basically work on that, update your product or service, and enhance your offerings. And what is the targets customer base that you are basically positioning it, right? Now, all that was an outward focus. Now, when we say outward focus, what your competitor is doing, what your market is doing, you apply various concepts like Porter, 5 forces, and all those things, get all those details, right? But what is important is also to do an internal search. What is your strength? If you are you good in technology? Are you good in manufacturing? Are you good in people processes? Are you good in operations? Are you good in finance? What is your core strength, right? And then you work on that. If you are able to create your product, your service, your offering around that, then definitely that is going to be a win-win situation. Try and figure out what is the weakness. Let's say if you are your solution, one of the examples that I can give you is we know that banking solutions are generally very robust in terms of, because they need to meet a lot of security concerns, right? Your data should not be accessible to other customers or other people, right? People should not be able to hack into your system. So there are a lot of security aspect that we bring in. Is that your weakness or that is your strength? Play on your strengths, right? Or work on your weaknesses and find the opportunities. If let me give you an example, right? Whether it is a consumer product, consumer good industry, or whether it is a telecommunications, whether it is a public sector, whether it is healthcare, all these things, there are different opportunities that are there at each level. And we have seen post-COVID, the things have changed drastically, right? Certainly there's a focus on healthcare. Government is launching so many schemes, right? Recently, yesterday itself, I got a SMS that please register for ABHA, which is Ayushman Bharat, right? So in India, right? Similarly, there are a lot of things that is happening in various industries. So there are opportunities around, right? Government is working on single window clearance, right? That itself is an opportunity because systems don't talk to each other. A system which is, let's say, a department, one department system might be different from other departments. So these don't, which basically, now this is an opportunity for system integrators, right? So with every, challenge, there is definitely an opportunity, and that opportunity we need to basically look into how we can tap that potential, right? We need to address to our threats, and that is very common. I mean, as we started, right, we talked about be breakfast or have breakfast. The one thing that still, is there in my mind is how you are responding to your challenges or to your competitors, right? What if Kodak would have started investing in the digital footprint and moved away from the traditional kind of photograph taking, or Nokia would have come early into the smartphone industry? Things would have been totally different, right? So there are threats, and we have to, and that's what our leadership abilities basically help to visualize those threats, so to see those things, where exactly the industry is trending, and start working towards that, right? To keep a pace with the industry, right? And that is what is needed, right? Remember what happened to Ambassador cars, right? They were not able to, or what was the state of Fiat in India, right? So they were not able to, meet the expectations or what was the market sentiments were saying, and Maruti, or at that time, other industries, other companies, they tap that potential, right? Now, that is one very important thing is, whenever there is an industry, whenever there's a product, whenever there's a solution, you cannot be 100% correct at the first time, right? As we talk, I think in a couple of hours from now, our Chandrayaan will be, sent to space. That was also, it is a third time we are sending it, right? Now, that is itself is a kind of MVP, right? You progress, you evolve you learn from your mistakes, right? And that is what is needed. Your first, when you launch the first time, was it able to meet the requirements? Might be certain requirements. Second time, was it able to meet the requirements? Certain requirements. Third, certain requirements, right? And that is what is needed to keep the motivation going, to keep the momentum going, right? Which means that whenever we also provide a solution to a customer, we try and see, you take this, start with this, start using this. The important thing is the usability of the solution that you are going to provide as an MVP, which means that you are providing a solution that they cannot use, is of no use. That is not an MVP, right? Which means that it has to be used, and then you enhance on that. One simple example, let me give you is, we were working for basically a public sector outside India. They had certain requirements in terms of citizen experiences, right? You cannot have a citizen experience all at one time, right? You will first give basically 10% of it. You start with this, then another 10%, which means that now since you are able to at least start the communication, keep the records, you can add certain more solutions or services to it. Now, let's say the citizen was able to say that, okay, there is a pothole in my road. Now, to start with that, can you please send me my date of birth certificate for my kid? That could be additional on that. Then third thing could be, okay, can I apply for a, let's say, license for my business. That could be an additional. So what we are doing is we are gradually, taking that customer to a next level, and that is what is the requirement for an MVP. And there are certain measures that we generally do, and there are roadmaps that we need to do. Similarly, a lot of people might be interested in product management when they create a product, right? That how it evolves over a period of time or years or months, right? Now, the other important thing is how we basically respond to our market needs, whether what is the pricing strategy, what is the product, what is the place that we are positioning, what is the segmentation that we are doing, what is the targeting that we are doing, to which target segment we are putting, what is the target price range that we are trying to do, who will be my buyers, how will I capture my feedback for my product or my service, and then try and incorporate all to that, right? Now, this is a very interesting curve, which is basically talks about how what is the rate of our innovation, or it is being accepted, right, over a period of range, which is generally a larger time, right? So these are the innovators who lead the thing with their thought process, right, which is followed by early adopters. So they will adopt those things, which was then followed by later late guys, right? And then there will be people who would be following all these. So this is basically a curve that generally we have seen how basically a new product or a new service has been accepted by various segments of the population across the globe, and that is known as innovation diffusion, right? At the rate at which innovation is being accepted. Right? Before I end, I would like to share this, which is very critical for all the innovators, for all the entrepreneurs here, right? There will always be a valley of death, and it is not basically, success is basically not how high you have climbed, but how you have made a positive impact or a difference to the world. That matters, right? Courage is not the strength to go on. It is going on when you don't have the strength, and that is the value of death. So this is the point where all the entrepreneurs have to be very careful how to basically come out of this and basically lead to the growth. It all starts with your product research. You are doing that analysis, the fit gap analysis, your marketing research, come up with your pilot, you take that to the market, do the patenting, product launch happens, get the feedback, make it a commercially viable product, get the funding, whether you are doing the bootstrapping, whether you are doing through venture capitalists, getting the funds, and then taking it to the market and creating a successful enterprise out of it. And that's how leading to the business. At the end, before I close, I would like to tell that great thing happens to those who don't stop believing, who don't stop trying, who don't stop learning. And that is very important. We have to be grateful, right? Remember, we have to remember this. And we have to believe that we all have infinite potential. Your only limitation is basically set by yourself. You have to come out of that limitation, and then great things will definitely happen. And with that, Dr. Gaurav, I'll close the thing, and we are open to questions.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for your presentation was filled with the high informative content, and I am requesting the participant to avail the opportunity of some eminent speaker at this session. So please unmute yourself and ask the question to our keynote speaker. If you have any query, sir will be very happy to give the answer. So please unmute yourself and ask.
May I?
Yes, please.
Yeah. First, thank you for that informative session. Actually, in the last slide, you have mentioned that love with the idea. but as a beginner, there are a lot of ideas and there are a lot of apprehensions. So how to get rid of that apprehensions, whether I'm going in the right direction or not?
Absolutely. And that is there with everybody who is having an idea, right? First thing is you need to believe in your idea, right? And how do you believe in your idea? Through certain testing, right? Certain market research that you are doing. It might be possible that you might think that this is a very interesting idea, but it might not be commercially viable, right? At that point of time, right? At that particular given circumstances, it might be good over a period of time or in a longer duration. So you need to be sure that whether this is commercially viable if you are trying to make a successful enterprise out of it. We also need to understand that as we grow, it might be one idea, right? But as an organization, you need to work on multiple ideas. It might be, there might be various products. And that was when I was talking about a BCG matrix, where you need to have various things at various point of times. Your one idea may lead to a success, but as a product life cycle, every product has a growth curve and has a decline also. It's a very common thing, right? In order for our enterprise to survive, you need to work upon various ideas parallelly. Some may become your cash cow, or some may become your star. Some may eventually die down also, because that is there. But all that will come from your market sentiments, your market research, your fit gap analysis, and that is what you should never forget. That you need to first take care of your product. When we talk about product, you need to do that STP, which is segmentation, targeting, and positioning, right? You need to have that 4 Ps in place, or 7 Ps or 9 Ps, whatever it is, right? All that in place for the right product. You might be having a right product, but the price might not be conducive for the person to buy it, right? So all those strategies needs to be in place. Your 4 Ps, your STP, your everything should be in place. And then you can take, if you want to take, if your idea is valid, if your idea is good, right? And you have, whether you are able to do a bootstrapping and that's how you want to grow, or you want to ask for funds from external sources, your venture capitalists. There might be various people who would be ready in putting money in your idea. That's how there are various growth curves, patterns that you can have. But important thing is you need to believe in the idea that you are going to do is you are working on is viable enough.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other query? Okay. So there is no query, then we should advance the session, and I would like to invite our keynote speaker and request them to kindly accept the digital memento from the Galgotia University. Thank you so much, sir, for your gracious presence, as well as accepting our invitation. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I enjoyed this session. Thanks for this giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, dear participant, I have posted the feedback link in the chat box. So kindly fill out the feedback form. Your opinion is very fruitful for us. So kindly fill out the feedback form. And if you have any query, you can let me know also. And I am very thankful to you all to joining this session and making this module for the innovator, successful innovator is a great success. So thank you all. So I am also requesting you all to kindly join with us for the tomorrow session. Tomorrow we have 4 speakers. who will share their success journey with you. They are the successful entrepreneur. They are generating revenue and they are impacting the society also. So tomorrow we have 4 speakers. That is Dr. Akhilesh Kumar, founder and CEO of Eden Horticulture Services. He has a very big farm. And Mr. Subham Prajapati, founder of Innovative Scripts Private Limited, as well as Dr. Shivangi Singh Verma. She is the CEO and of the Fitness Institute of Clinical Research. And Dr. Divya Rathod will join with us. She is the founder and CEO of Silver Nanos Innovation LLP. So you all are cordially invited to join the session at 9:50 a.m. Thank you so much.